Hi, oh fuck. Fucked it. Absolutely fucked it. Oh dear, what a horrible start to the stream. Oh, here, it might be worse. It might be. Oh, no, good. We're in. I thought it was going to be one of those streams where this camera didn't work. Is the microphone working? Because that. Oh, aye. Didn't fuck it that bad. Microphone's working. Camera's working, kinda. If I do this, might work a wee bit better. Hello, I've not streamed in a wee while, and here I am, just for you, and you. Hiya, how's it going? We've got a dog loose in the room. We have a dog loose in the room, everybody. Oh my god, Fred Dog's in the room. Can you even believe it? Hi folks, how you doing? Listen, warning, here's a wee warning before I start the stream. Goodness me, turns out the bubble tubes aren't primed. However, Bowdy here, thank you very, very much. There's a wee extended manual blast for you, Bowdy. How you doing? Welcome in. Thank you very much for subbing. How's it going and how you bloody doing? Eh? How's it going, Bowdy? Thank you very, very much for subbing. I hope you're good. And hey, listen, everybody. Do you want to take advantage of good deals? How good are deals? I love deals, right? See, right now on Twitch, there is a deal called September, where depending on really complicated terms about if you're already a sub, or if you're getting a gift sub, or if you're getting 3 months subs up front, or if you're getting 6, I don't know all the ins and outs, but what I do know is there are some deals to be had. So right now is the time to sub, if you want to your favourite streamer, for 3 months or 6 months up front, if you want to. Or gift subs, I think, are reduced as well. I don't know if I take a loss, because you never used to, but then Twitch likes to change things. So I don't know if it's good for me to tell you this, or if it would just be better for you to wait till next month to sub. No, it wouldn't. Sub early, sub often, sub all the time. Just like Bowdy. Hello Bowdy, welcome in. How you doing? Thank you very much for subbing. I hope you got a deal. Did you get a deal out of that? A complayer is asking what's the music in the background. That is a very good question. The music is by my mate Paul, and Hal there has just put his SoundCloud link in the chat. Thanks very much, Paul, for allowing me to use your music. Follow Paul on YouTube and on SoundCloud. Thank you very much, Paul. I'll start at the top, right? But listen, as always, everybody, what I want to know is, do you have any good news? If you've got any good news, big or small, I want to know what it is. Stick it in chat. I've got a wee bit of good news today. We've got some announcements today. Also, for the energy, don't know if you've noticed, but I'm hyper high energy than usual. Why is that? I've taken amphetamines. I'm in one of Dando's power eckies that she gave me for ADHD, because my own doctor refuses to send me for an ADHD assessment, because ADHD assessment department of my local NHS has been removed due to a shortage of ADHD medication, and so instead of on a database somewhere they'll say all these people are untreated and unmedicated, instead of that they're just not diagnosing people so that number doesn't look bad somewhere. Anyway, so in the words of my GP, what I've had to do is go from self-diagnosis to self-medication, and thanks a lot to Dando, I'm sorted at least for another sort of 15 days. I've had a lot of work to do today, and I've got a lot of work to do for the rest of the day. However, I thought I'd fit a wee stream in. What have I got planned for you today? Well, a couple of launches, right? I'm going to launch my store. I've got a store, and a lot of people were asking where they can get 1030 merch. So if you want my 1030 logo on a big t-shirt, which I should have worn, really, I should have worn today, but I'm not doing it. If you want my logo on a t-shirt, you can now get it. If you want my logo on a cup, you can now get it. If you want a counterfeit embroidered version of Neil Buchanan's Art Attack jumper that I've done without permission, and now it's legally a copyrighted trademark of Disney, I've circumvented that copy mark, and I'm, I think, breaking federal law, and now you can get one of them if you want, but I'll tell you all about that in a wee second. Why am I doing that? Why have I... That was scary, wasn't it, Fred? It's okay, it was this telly, Fred. Fred's down here. Why have I got a store for you? Why have I got a store for you? Because Fred Macaulay, as in not the comedian, I've got a dog called Fred. He's right here, right? But he's investigating the noise that my speaker just made, so he's a wee bit spooked. Fred Macaulay isn't very well, right? And that's a full story within itself. However, to cut a long story short, I need to raise about $3,000 before the middle of December in order to give him the best chances of living for another year, right? And it's all doable, it's all achievable. However, I've just lost loads of work as well. So, intelligently, cleverly, I'm looking for opportunities and things that we can do to help Freddie out, right? And so, I've created up. Sorry, I'm on amphetamines today. I have created a web page where, for anybody that wants to, you can give Fred money so that he can get chemotherapy treatment. And I think that's ready to go live. However, I've just realised a lot of the body copy on it isn't right. So I think I can take donations anyway. So do you want a wee secret preview? I could give you a wee secret preview just now, right? I feel a bit bad though, because I think right now on Twitch, amongst our wider community, it seems to be the time for charity stuff. I think Pip and Ad are doing charity stuff. There's Cup Burger on the go. There is Taffman's doing another charity thing. So I feel a wee bit bad sitting here being like, here, give money to Fred. However, on the other hand, I don't feel bad at all about sitting here saying, here, give money to Fred, because I love this guy and he's my most favourite pal in the world. And I really want to give him the best opportunity that he can get, because he's a good dog and I'm responsible for him. So, if you would like to donate to Fred's, well, I put the word cancer in the thing. I don't think so. Fred's not well and you can financially help here. Or, wait a minute, what about just Fred vet bills? Let's do Fredison, that's good. So there is the link, right? What I'm going to do is just pin it. So right now, it takes you to this page, but guess what? See, live, what I'm going to do is update this page so that it looks better, right? And I'm going to do that live. Somebody messaged me here. What do you feel about this? Because I want to know what your opinion is on this, right? Somebody messaged me and said, listen, I've got cryptocurrency and it's just sitting there. Pepper! Fuck! Pepper, grow up, Pepper. Oh, God. Tell you what, Pepper, I wouldn't raise money for you. I wouldn't raise money for you if you were in the same position. Hi, Rachel. I would raise money for Pepper. Thank you very much, Rachel. How you doing? Aye, considering. Is everything alright? Average at best. Fucking Pepper, man. She's alright. She's just very opinionated and she... Rewild, thank you very much for donating a tenner. Thank you very much for sticking a tenner into this. This is cool, Rewild. Thank you very, very much. I don't currently have all the stuff connected to all of this, but I'm going to make that happen, right? I'm going to make that happen. But I'm getting alerts on my phone that I can see here. So for everybody that comes in, feel free to receive an alert from my... Sorry, I'm not thinking very well. I'm all over the place, right? Please bear with us. What I'm going to do, right, is though, so right now the page looks like this, and I've just made this myself, right? It's on my website, 1030.co.uk. Somebody said, I've got cryptocurrency, do you fancy accepting it? And I'm like, and then I'm like, do you know what? It's for Fred's cancer treatment, fuck it, man. So if you also want, you can donate like your Bitcoin and stuff. There's a wee link down the bottom. and I've got a way of doing it. No obligation. Your actual money goes in this bit, but for anybody who's like maybe sitting on $500,000 of crypto and don't want to declare it in tax and stuff like that, Big Scary Deer, thank you very much for 25 quid. Look at this, man. So every week that we go, it costs about £300, and we're already at about a tenth of that. So thank you very much, everybody. This is fucking cool. Any money that we make over, I will put towards Pippa's treatments. I'll put in a separate thing. And you just need to trust me on this. None of this is ratified by a charity thing or anything like that, because I was looking at it and they like to take a cut. So I don't want that. I want all the money. So you just need to trust that it's going to the things. And if anybody really wants, I can show you receipts of the bills for the small animal hospital. I'm sure there's like a code for it or whatever. Right now this doesn't look very good because it says donate, your content goes here, right? So let's fix that, and I'm going to fix that when I'm live, and we can maybe even put a wee picture of Fred on there as well, just for him to say thanks. So if anybody wants to, feel free to do that. And so that's my good news, is that I've figured out, fucking hell, Rockin' Tony, thanks very much for 100 quid, or $100. Is it coming up in $100, Rockin' Tony? Thank you very, very much for doing that. What a legend. My God, within the space of, 3 minutes? We're now, like, well along the way to our funding goal for this month. Thank you very much. What I really want to do is get, like, one of those Blue Peter totalizers, because I don't need to raise all the money in the one go. It's a sort of pay-as-you-go. Neck Nil, mate, thank you very much for 20 quid. Yous are going to start me greeting. Thank you very, very much, folks. Unbelievable. I want to get a totalizer so that you know if for this month we're cool. This is a big one. This is a big one. Docto, thank you very much for the 5 bloody gifted subs. Get the wee man a lasagna. Docto, thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs. That is amazing of you. Docto, you have just gifted a sub to Fire Up the Machine, to Moon Alley, to Not a Jockey, to Still Pablo, and to Pursue 303. If I've just said your name there, please feel free to thank Docto, who has just gifted you a sub to this channel. Thank you very much, Docto. Docto, I hope you got a deal out of that. I hope you took advantage of September. I don't know how it all works. And S. Clarko, thank you very much for the sub. Welcome in, how you doing? And P. Kolf, thank you very much for 30 quid. On Ko-fi, thank you very, very much for 30 quid. That's amazing. Somebody has clicked about on that link and realised that there's other stuff that you can get. Fucking hell, Fran, thank you very much for that. That's 100 quid. That's another 100 quid in. Jesus Christ. Everybody, thank you very, very much. My God, are you Fran that I know? I think it is Fran that I know, because I think I saw you earlier in chat, and I've not even looked at chat. Docto, you have been very generous throughout my Twitch career, and I just want to say thanks very much. S. Clarko, thanks for the sub. Hello Scott, you've been very generous at just being cool with me as well. S. Clarko says, stuck in an airport for 7 hours. So this is a bloody welcome surprise. Amazing, Scott. I hope you're doing good, and I hope you don't spunk all of your wireless internet data allowance on me. Bromo69 says, yeah, can I buy some t-shirts? You can. You can't get this t-shirt just yet, but you can do it. Other t-shirts are up there just now, but these t-shirts will be there in a wee minute. Damon, somebody called Damon, has just chucked us a tenner into the Fred Fund, so thank you very much for that. I'm going to address the chat, right, but I'm very clearly overwhelmed just now, right? So please bear with me. I've got some other merch up, so see on the website, right? So this is the donation. I'm going to, when we're live, just re-thingy that so that it's very clear. Everybody knows this is going to Fred, right? If you're one of the crypto cunts You can click down here, you can give crypto if you want. I don't really know about all of that, but for some people, when they're giving stuff away, because maybe they've not declared tax on their Bitcoin or whatever, for some people that might be a better way of doing it. And see, to be honest, I don't give a fuck what format the money is in. We've got vet bills and we need to pay them, right? And so there's a time and a place. I will concede my ethics in order to help a Doug. So if anybody's got crypto, you can do that. If anybody's got actual money, you can do that. And see, if anybody doesn't have any money, that's fine as well, because cost of living crisis and all that and everything. My Doug's my responsibility, right? But right now, exceptional times is meaning, hi, yeah. I'm just asking folk for, we're talking about you, Fred. We're talking about you, big boy. You good boy? Freddie, some amazing, wonderful good news has happened, pal. You're going to last another couple of months? Yeah? It's a shame you can't see him. But he's sitting here just looking at me like, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, very good boy, Freddie dog. So thank you very much for this, everybody. I was a wee bit unsure about doing this, but I want to keep my dog alive. Simple as that. So thank you, everybody. I think for everything that has just happened in the past 5 minutes, Mad Dwarfer, thank you very much for a $5 towards Fred. Thank you very much. For everything that's happened in the past 5 minutes, I think we've got a good week or a couple of treatments sorted out. So thank you very much, everybody. And I'm going to be talking about this until the 8th of December. See, on the 8th of December, his insurance renews. And so, because his insurance is renewing, that gives us like loads of other treatment and the insurance will pay for it and it's fine. But up until the 8th of December, it's coming out of my pocket. And so I'm trying to just figure out strategies for that. Thank you very much for your help, everybody. This is fucking cool. So I'm going to sort this out. Docto, thanks for chucking 20 quid in. And thanks very much for some merch orders coming in, folks. So the donate, just right now, see this bit, donate, takes you here. It's entirely for Fred, right? Anything over that, I'm going to put in a separate thing and we're going to keep that. Pippa is kind of old and she doesn't have pet insurance currently. So anything we make over that, I'm going to stick into a Pippa fund. Because I'm responsible for her. Pippa was my grand's dog. My gran died, and so now she lives with us. And she's all fucked, man. Avgas, how you doing? Thank you very much for the bits. Avgas, how's it going? So, right, what I wanted to do is set this up so that we can fund Fred, right? And so I'm going to set this up live on stream just now. It currently works, but I just want to make it a wee bit better so that you know unambiguously that this is going to the Fred Fund. However, this is my new website. This is a soft launch of my new website. So if you go to the main website page, this is also for Fred. Anything that says donate is for Fred. But look at my new website, right? See down the bottom is all my social media links. You can't see. But that one there is the Twitch link, right? And that tells you when I'm live. How good is that? That updates. Scott, how's it going, man? Scott, thank you very much for a tenner. Folks donated to help me get Kayla over from Spain. Just paying this on. Thank you very much for some mutual dog respect, man. Thanks a lot, Scott. Thanks everybody for donating to Fred. I'm going to set this up so that you know it's for him. Also on my website, right, I've started, and this page isn't finished. But what I'm going to do, Lucy Kelly, thanks for the tenner. Thanks for giving Fred a tenner. Thank you very much. And thanks for other orders coming in. What orders? Wait till I show you. I'm slowly adding some products to the webpage. This isn't what this is about now, but this is why I've put it live. So first I've got projects, right? Throughout the past sort of 20 years, I've made various creative endeavours. And this website isn't finished yet, but it's going to showcase some cool stuff that I've made in the past. However, in addition to that, there is also a shop. So if you want an Austin 316 t-shirt that says Houston 1030 in the same typeface, and it's been typeset well, right? You could buy it for here. Cost you £19.60. Sorry about the odd prices, can't really do much about it. Do you want a bubble poster that nobody else has bought before? You can do that here, 15 quid. Do you want an apron with my logo embroidered on it for some reason? Maybe you do 3D printing or whatever? Yep. A notebook, a cup thing. Oh, a jumper that I don't know. It's actually embroidered, man. It's not printed, it's real embroidery, right? Just like one of the originals. You can get that. That's not my copyright. I might get in trouble for that. So get it while you can. Do you want my logo on a hat? Do you want my logo on a cup? Not dishwasher friendly, wash it by hand. Do you want my logo on a t-shirt? You can get them all for here, man. And more products will be being added. Hello Terrible Clint, welcome in, thanks very much for the sub. So what I'm going to do is, see for all the stuff on the shop and for all the donates and stuff for Fred. So if you're to take away anything for here, is that I'm raising money for Fred's vet bills, and there's a pinned link in chat, and you're welcome to do that. Terrible Clint, welcome in, how's it going? Thank you very much for the sub, your sound, welcome in, thank you very, very much. So I'm just taking you a wee tour of my new website, 1030.co.uk. The main thing, donate, is for Fred's bills. And right now, I'm just going to add a wee picture of Fred, and I'm going to write a wee paragraph. In fact, will we do that just now? Edit page. Let's do this, just in case I dox any passwords or anything like that. Nah, I think we're good. So here, instead of donate, I'm just going to write, what? No. Oh, I think I fucked up. Refresh. Right, so what I'm going to, no, it's still there. Edit header. No, not the menu. Edit text, there we go. Donate to Fred. And then underneath, I need to raise, and it's maybe about 3 grand. It's just over 3 grand, but I'm putting money in, obviously. Before December, the 8th of December, for Fred Dog's chemotherapy, Fred's cancer treatment. Thanks very much for any considerations. Thanks very much. Thanks very much. There we go. I'm going to hit save. And let's see how that looks. Donate to Fred. Maybe take the exclamation mark off because it's a bit much, isn't it? Donate to Fred. I need to raise 3 grand before the 8th of December for Fred's cancer treatment. Well, that's maybe a bit like, oh, woe is me. I need to raise 3. So maybe we don't do that. All contributions go to Fred Dogs. Fred's here. He's just looked at me as if, have I got cancer? That's okay, you can lie down. You were just on a wire. I just moved the wire for you. You can, Freddy, lie down nice. Oh, I'll take a sit down off you. That's lovely. Thank you very, very much. And here, everybody, thanks for all the help you've just gave me. So what we can do here is add a section and image. I think I'll just upload an image. So we need to find an image of Fred Dog. I think maybe Twitter would be the best for that. Twitter.com. I'm going to read all your good news in just a wee second, everybody, but I've got my own good news. My own good news is an incredible amount of people in the wider community have just helped me help my dog. Right, from at 10:30, Fred. Flower Buffet, thank you very much for a tenner. Thank you very, very, very much. Help me find an image, right? So this is his expression when he stole a tray of lasagna. This is his expression when he stole and ate 16 chicken nuggets. What photo do you think I should put on the website? This is just a normal photo of him. Ken, it's a work in progress, but do you know that all the links on the projects page goes to the shop? The projects page is fucked currently, Pedropolis, but thanks very much for letting me know. This is him when he stole a wee stupid bag of tissues. That's him on the day we found out he's got cancer. We took him to a river, and I bought my cheese. Oh, right, I'll save that one. I think it's that one, isn't it? So, righto, how do we add an image to this one? Drop image here, desktop, and we need a thing called Fred. This one here, we bought my cheeseburger. Well, that's a big image, isn't it? That's far too big. Do I need to manually make it smaller, or do you think this will make it smaller? Oh, I need to fucking resize the image. Do I make it smaller? Or maybe it automatically defaults to full width. I think it does default to full width. So if I save this, maybe it's just the width of the page. Steve Zazoo, thank you very much for a tenner. Thank you very, very much. I think it's just the width of the page. So we'll do that. Silver77, thank you very much for the sub. Welcome in. How you doing, man? Oh, fuck. Thank you, everybody, for all of this. Right, so that's what's happening with me, right? That's what's happening with me, and that's what's happening to Freddie. Silver77, thank you very much. How's it going? Terrible Clunt, Silver77, Avgas, Docto, S. Clarko, and Bowdy. How yous doing? Thanks for all the Twitch subs. And I don't have a list of all the wonderful people that have just contributed to the Fred thing, but thank you very much, all of that. So that's what's happening with me. That's happening just now, and I feel good that I'm able to help him with doing this. Let me know how this looks, everybody on your end. Could you click on the pinned link, and does it look mad that maybe I'll put the donation bit above the image? I think that's the best way of doing it, isn't it? I think that's the best way of doing it. So we'll put that there. Like that. Aye, we'll hit save there. Sorted! Oh, but this wee bit as well. So we'll put that... put that there. Aye. Save. Job done. Job's a belter. There we go. Job done. Amazing. Steve Zazoo, thank you very much for a tenner. So that's all what I've got. Oops, there's some hidden projects, or hidden products that are maybe coming soon. Ooh. Aye, so I made a thing. Welcome in, everybody. How you doing? Yoda on coke. Hiya, Gibbs. Hiya. Big Scary Deer. How's it going? Lucy Kelly. Gibbs again. Chameleon. Bromo. Pursue. How do you do? Roll Duke. Gibbs. Yes, it's bland. How's it going? Thanks again. Bromo69's in with a wee bit of good news. Sorry about that. Bromo69 says, good news. It was my birthday on Saturday. Could we wish Bromo69 a happy birthday in chat, please? It was my birthday on Saturday, and I had a lovely weekend in Edinburgh, followed by the day off work today. Bromo69, happy bloody birthday. That is some class, wonderful news. I know! Pepper is on edge, man. See if somebody opens or closes a door, if somebody stands up or sits down, Pepper's like that. And it's very annoying. Bromo, see if we didn't have music currently playing, I would give you... Do you know what? Do you know what we're going to do? We're going to stop the music, Bromo, because it's your birthday, right? We're going to dip down the music like this. And Bromo69, I don't do this often, but you're a long-term supporter of the channel and part of the community. I'm going to give you a rendition of Happy Birthday as armpit farts. Bravo 69, this is for you. Bromo 69. Thank you very, very much, Bromo 69. Happy bloody birthday. Hello, Pedropolis, Rewild, Stevia, how you doing? Beneath the headphones, what's happening? Beneath headphones says, good news, got an empty headphones on and I'm doing odd jobs about the house. Great times, Beneath headphones, that sounds bloody brilliant. Channel 13's here for some cool stuff. Already showed you some cool stuff, more still cool stuff coming. Channel 13, welcome in. Pedropolis says 404 1030 not found. Like, that is a 404 funny thing, but is there actually a 404 on the website? If there is, let me know. Can he beat an empty? Love an empty. Hello, Yoda and Coke. Good news. Yesterday we went with my significant other to watch a lunar eclipse in what's basically a pub on a roof, and it emotionally wrecked me in a good way. Still stoked about it. That is amazing, Yoda and Coke. Did it go all red? Hi, Freddie. Freddie, some amazing stuff's happening, pal. Some amazing bloody stuff's happening. Oh, man. Hello, Pursue, how do you do? Good news, the Swifts were zipping around again, and I managed to video the jackdaw that is zipping around with them, picking up new ways of flying. Cool, man. It's all happening. Hello, Flower Buffet, welcome in. How's it going? Good news, it's the 3rd anniversary of the greatest stream that never happened. Also the death of Queen Elizabeth II. I have no idea what you're talking about. Did I do a Queen stream? I can't remember it. Can you remember it? No. No, I don't know what you're talking about at all. Was that 3 years ago the day? Jesus Christ, man, I've just about sobered up. Hello, Stevia, welcome in. Hello, Channel 13. Hello, Dealfantos of Sweden. How's it going? When did the mouse buy Neil Buchanan? Don't know, I had to look it up. I was like, is this okay that I use their copyright? And I looked it up. I'm like, Neil Buchanan won't sue me. Who's it owned by anyway? It's owned by the big mouse guy. They're off a Suey, so I might take that down. But I think it's because Neil Buchanan sold the Art Attack format to international markets, right? So there's an Art Attack in Germany, there's one in Brazil, etc. So then I think Disney bought the full global property for that. Zabalbus, mate, how you doing, man? Zabalbus, thank you very much for donating 50 quid to Fred. I would never have got through the stuff with my big guy last year if it wasn't for folk helping out. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you very much, Zabalbus. And thanks, everybody, for... I've got a pinned link in chat to help Fred. It looks like we've already got Fred treatment, at least for another 2 weeks. So thank you very much for that, everybody. Thank you for helping Fred out. Zabalbus, Steve Zazoo, Flower Buffet, Lucy Kelly, S. Clarko, Docto, Mad Dwarfer, Zombie, Fran... Peakolf, Necknell, Rock and Tony, Big Scary Deer, and Rewild. Thank you very, very much, everybody. This is unreal, so thank you very much, folks. We're doing Fred Aid, everybody. Will the bubble flags be returning? I missed them the first time round. Pedropolis, I don't know if I can do bubble flags on this. So I've moved the services that I'm using to make all my merch, and I haven't got right into it yet. So I've just looked at t-shirts and stuff like that. What I'm going to do for you is, and I think I want to do it for free, but I don't think I can do it for free for everybody. But I want to give you, you know, the Kingdom of Scotland ringtone that Stone Cold has got when I phone him. So I spoke to Jinzo. Jinzo's like, aye man, go for it. So I want to give you like a digital download of the Kingdom of Scotland ringtone, but I don't think I can just put it on for free because of the technical limitations of the website. Otherwise, folk would use it just for file sharing. So I think, though, that I can go on and make it, and don't sub for this just now. Wait until I know what I'm talking about. But I think I'll be able to do it so that if you're a Twitch sub, you can get it off the website, because the website as it stands just now with all the merch and stuff links into Twitch. So I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I've already had 3 orders in and they must be for you. I think you get money off if you're a Twitch sub, or you should. Let me know if anybody, because I know I don't want to say your name here, in case maybe you've just ordered something for somebody that's sitting in the room or something like that. I don't know. Didn't want to say the people who've ordered merch, but I recognise some names there. So if anybody has ordered merch there, did you take any benefit from already being a Twitch sub? Because I think you get money off there. Also, what you can do on Twitch is, and I feel bad about talking about all this because today's about Fred, right? But it's the same mechanism that I've used to set all of this up. Amazing. How much did you get off, Bowdy? Did you get money off? So that's good. How good are deals, man? So there's also a feature on the website as well. None of this is for Fred though. This is just merch stuff, so I don't want to talk about it too much. But there's also a feature on the website which is kind of cool, where you can gift a product to the Twitch chat, right? So whenever I'm live, and this is just a cool thing, I'm not telling you to do it, but it's just a cool thing that I thought, oh, I like that. Alright, so you get 10% off for Twitch subs, and I've not worked out to figure out if I'm actually losing money on that yet, so that might go, or the price might go up. Anyway, but what you can also do is gift a product to the Twitch chat. So you go onto the page where there's a product, for example, like a mug, right? And then you can click gift to Twitch chat. So it means that you pay for it, you don't receive it, but there is like a random lotto thing. People can enter like a giveaway. And I don't know how that works because it must not be. So it is a giveaway. So I've not seen that happen in anybody's chat before, but it's a cool wee integration to a website. Anyway, total for the t-shirt was £25.76. Amazing. And was that with delivery fee as well? That's fucking cool, man. Thank you very much for merch. You need to show us a photo when you get it through. But anyway, I'll talk about merch and stuff a different time. I'm going to upload different product ideas and all of that. People want this t-shirt as well. I'm going to make them available. But today we're talking about Freddie's vet bills. So there's a pinned link in chat, and the link is also here. And for anybody who wants to donate to Fred, you're more than welcome to do so. And it even, if you want to hide tax and stuff like that, it even takes cryptocurrency. If you're sitting on a couple £1,000 worth of cryptocurrency and you don't know what to do with it and you don't want to declare it for HMRC reasons, you can use it to help a dog live. How cool is that, man? Welcome in, everybody. Thanks very much. I feel good that I've got all of this up and running. It feels pretty good. So the next bit, Stevja, thanks very much for donating to Fred. Thank you very much for 25 quid. And Terrible Clint, thanks very much for 20 quid. It says 20 ... so I assume it's 20 and no 200. Pete, thank you. Oh, I just said your name. Terrible Clint, thank you very, very much for £26, $26, 20 quid, whatever it is. The currency conversion. I just doxed your first name, mate. I'm sorry about that. But thank you very much. And Silver77, thank you very, very much for doing that as well. We'll get you there. Much love to Fred and you from us and our Mr. Leo. I hope Mr. Leo's doing well. Thank you very much, folks. This is cool, man. I didn't expect this would work as well as it is, and it's working good, so thank you very much. Stevja, thanks. Terrible Clint, Silver77, Zabalbus, Steve Zazoo, and Flower Buffet. Thank you very much, folks. We're getting there. Look at that. Hey, Freddie. So there is monthly goals so as that I know how on track I am for Fred's medication, because I don't need to pay it all up once. I've got until December to pay it all up. So I'm going to create like a visual thing so as that I know how far in advance I am for his treatments. Oh my God, everybody, you've made me all emotional. I nearly started greeting earlier. But I can't show weakness because that's no the done thing. We've done it and it's all happening, so thanks very much, folks. Pedropolis, I will have a wee look at bubble flags and we'll try and get the bubble flags back up and running, man. I can't promise it. What I'm also looking at is jumpers. So remember the jumpers my mum knitted for me? I've figured out a way of getting replica jumpers that aren't printed on, but they're actually stitched, just like the ones, well, like a mass manufactured version of the ones that my mum has knitted for me. So that's kind of cool. That's all coming soon, I hope. Got a wee bit of work to do, but we'll see how it goes. Pursue says, don't do what I do in Pharaoh. Drink loads, nod off, and nearly miss the flight. Aye, 100%. Wabs Nazem, how you doing? Thanks very much for £8 towards Freddie. Who's a good boy? I do believe it's Fred. I do believe it's Fred that's a good boy. So there's all sorts. I didn't expect to be announcing a merch store today, right? But as part of the easiest way that I've got to allow you to give Fred money, I've attached it all onto that, and they do all the payments and stuff like that, so it means that I don't have to. So that's why I'm like, it feels a wee bit uncouth to talk about Fred cancer treatment and also be like, oh, buy this t-shirt. But thanks very much, folks. I hope you get what I'm talking about here. Rolling Sausage is in chat saying thanks, everyone. Aye, it's cool, man, isn't it? Clips on YouTube says, hello from YouTube. Was trying to watch on Twitch, but kept getting an error message. Twitch seems to be having issues where I am. Clips, if you're still on YouTube, because you commented a wee while ago there, Twitch tends to break whenever you've got ad block and stuff. So they might have updated. So for anybody who's having bothered watching on Twitch, maybe disable your ad block, trying a different browser or whatever. But thanks very much. So that's right, I'm on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and YouTube Vertical, I think, just now. I think. So wherever you are, hiya. And wherever you are, what we're talking about today is a donation page for Fred Macaulay, not the comedian, but this guy here. He's a good guy and I like him a lot. He's my best friend. And so I've put a link in the Twitch chat, but if you're watching in one of the other places, the way that you can get there is going to 1030.co.uk, and then there's a donate link on the left. So it's 1030.co.uk. Click on donate, and you can see this good boy here. I think, and I'm not too sure, but I think I've got functionality every time a purchase is made on that web store to send you a private video after. Not easy, no like that, but to just send you a wee thank you video. And if that's possible to do, Danny, thanks very much for chucking money at Fred. Thank you very much for doing that. If that's possible to do with donations, then I'm going to sit down, I'll give you all a wee video in reply. But I don't know if that is possible to do, so let me see that. Oh, I'm out of breath, man. I've got a wee cup of tea here, and I'm just going to drink my wee cup of tea and calm down just a wee bit, if that's all right. Pedropolis says, what size is the bubble print? It should say, I think it's something like 12 inches by 16 inches. Nah, it should say, shouldn't it? It's not giving you on the thing. Let me update that. I think it's 12 inches by 16 inches, but let's look at that right now. Because see if I don't fix this, it'll be gone. Products. Jamie, how you doing? Oh my goodness, we're getting... What is that? So I don't know what currency that is. Is that KR? Don't know. Thank you very much for giving money to Fred. Get well soon, lovely sweet boy. He's amazing, man. Fred, I know that all of you lot have seen Fred on the stream and stuff like that, but you might not have appreciated how cool he is. The dog's cool as fuck, man. He really is. And thank you very much for helping him. I really, really appreciate it. So what we're going to do just now is... Oh my goodness, somebody has just given me cryptocurrency. I don't know how much cryptocurrency, but somebody just has gave me some cryptocurrency. So thank you very much for doing that. I felt a wee bit unsure whether or not to accept cryptocurrency, because there's a stigma there, right? But but it's for Fred's vet bills. So if anybody's got any bother with that, they can absolutely swivel. I look forward to the inevitable Twitter cancellation attempt. Oh, do you hear 1030's into crypto now? Swivel is what I say to them there. Thanks very much whoever just sent me cryptocurrency for my dog's vet bills. I'm juggling things just now. So for the bubble poster, it's 12 inches by 16 inches. Brackets. No idea what that is in centimetres, sorry. I know metric is the best, but hey ho. Save. Okay, so now that product is good. Oh, you can't see that. There we go. There we go. Thank you very much. Benzo Kane says, did you ever hold on to that Rabbit R1? Seen they've just announced a new version of their OS. I do have it in a box. I was ready to sell that to help Fred and stuff. Fred stuff. But I've still got it. Does it look good? I don't recommend anybody buys it. But if they've got a new OS, that's cool. I'll have gas. Art Attack was a children's television show that I used to watch and record on VHS, and the host was famous for having jumpers or sweaters, and that he changed them throughout the years, and I've always wanted one, right? And you can't buy them officially, so one of them was embroidered, and I found the artwork, and I've created my own artist's interpretation of his jumper, so that's there as well. I might go in and flip the colours around a wee bit, right? Someday with the, I don't want to say your full name. Oh, well, I'll say your first name. Paul. Paul, thank you very much for chucking us £8. Hope our wee Freddy boy gets all the care he needs. He definitely will, thanks to the generosity of you lot. Thanks very, very much, everybody. If you're interested in this jumper, I might switch the colours round a tiny wee bit, right? So maybe don't buy this for now, unless you have already. If one person's already bought it, I'll keep it the way it is. So that exists. And so the 1030 webpage is now live, 1030.co.uk. Pedropolis, you're right about the links. So I'm going to get them all fixed as well. You have a massive YouTube rabbit hole. What were we talking about? YouTube rabbit hole, Pedropolis? I want a YouTube rabbit hole. What were we talking about? I got a wee bit distracted. Sorry that I almost started crying earlier, but time and a place, man. If it'll make you feel better, Fred keeps farting pure honking bum pumps. Aye, he's doing ridiculous bum pumps today, man. Just sitting there, you can hear them. It's rare that you hear Fred's farts. My former dog Max would fart and then bark at his own arse, whereas Fred just farts and then looks at you. You know collies, when they look out the side of their eye and you can see the white? It's one of my most favourite things about collies, and I think that's why I got Fred. See when you see the wee white in their brown eyes? It's so cool, man. So Fred, he'll be lying down like that, and you just hear, and he'll just look at you. Like that. And because he can't help it, he's currently on steroids and cancer treatment, so I'm just letting him fart, right? But it's humming, man. And he's not usually a farter. Pepper, on the other hand, Pepper is a farter. Silver77 says, where's the pinned website? Have you still got it pinned? Everybody on Twitch chat? If the website isn't still pinned, you can find it... Oh, I've lost the link. I'll just stick it in chat as well. But listen, I think we've already made enough in the past 10 minutes to keep Fred going. I think we've reached this month's goal, but I don't know. And if we haven't reached this month's goal, that money will go to the next month and stuff. But this is the website here if it isn't pinned. More than welcome. Thank you very much, everybody. And sorry to be hitting you with like... I've never asked for money on here. I've done fundraising for Scroobius Pips project, but I've never came on and just asked for cash, and so it feels a wee bit no good to do it. But on the other hand, I want my dog to live longer. Kath, thank you very much for 20 quid. Love to Fred. Love to you, Kath. Thank you very, very much for doing that. Anyway, so I've also got some other stuff. I've downloaded a game called Schedule 1 because it was on offer. So that's kind of cool. And so maybe we will go on and we will try and sell drugs. I think that could be cool. Because that's what you do in the game. Zabalbus, how's it going? Zabalbus is in with a bit of good news. And listen, everybody, I really want to hear your good news. Because all in the world is bad news everywhere. Have you seen all the bad news? Everywhere. You wake up, you get angry, and it's bad news. However, see here, in my wee area of the internet, I'm in charge, and I don't want to sit here and just have all the bad news. So we're going to share good news. My good news is that Don't Mind Me Carry On has just subbed, I think. Subbed. So thank you very much for that. Don't Mind Me Carry On, welcome in. And Zabalbus is in with a bit of good news. If you've got good news, stick it in the chat. We want to elevate ourselves here. Zabalbus, thank you for your good news. Zabalbus says, my wee dog Isla ate human shite from people camping nearby. Oh. And spewed it up. The sentence isn't finished yet. And spewed it up on our new floor. This sentence gets fucking worse with every word. A recap. Good news, the sentence starts. Good news, my wee dog Isla ate human shite from people camping nearby and spewed it up on our new floor. The good news is she didn't seem to otherwise be too bothered by it. Fucking Dugs, man. That's good news, isn't it, Zabalbus? Thanks very much for sharing your good news. My God. We're in a situation here, right? You know how Pippa is a wee stinker? We've established that Pippa is a bit of a stinker. She eats her own shite, right? And we're trying various ways of helping her with that because that's sort of my responsibility. But that's how we received Pippa as a shite eater. However, see, because Fred is currently in the middle of receiving different types of chemo treatment, we need to be careful. So if he licks my hand, for example, I need to go and wash my hand because that saliva, you need to be really dodgy about it, right? The vet says it's basically like treat it as severe as COVID because the medication can alter his DNA or something like that because it's chemotherapy treatment. So his DNA, if that gets on somebody else, so if I accidentally touch his shit or piss or if he licks us, I really need to scrub. But that's a problem because Pippa likes to eat shite and the shite in the same place. And she's just a wee tiny person. So if she eats even a tiny bit of Fred's shite, so it's added on this whole other layer of stress that I never considered before. My goodness me. I think the postman's just arrived. Thank you very much for all these donations, everybody. This is really cool, folks. I know. As you can tell, Freddie's feeling his wonderful self. He's feeling all right. But thanks very much, folks. Remember, if you order any merch, please take advantage of the Twitch sub discount. If anybody's a sub, you can do that. I didn't tune my armpit first, 100%. I feel a bit weird, everybody, and I think it's just emotions. But we'll get through it. Rewild is in with a bit of good news. Rewild says, good news, I'm currently out on my 6th run of the year. It's the season for it, isn't it? Just turned autumn, watch out on the wet leaves. All since Monday for the charity Sands. Cool. Feeling proper good about it, and best of all, have timed a rest day for my birthday tomorrow. Fucking cool, Rewild. And also, happy birthday. If you're in tomorrow... I know, come on, guys. It was a postman. Postman's in. Tomorrow, I might be streaming later, because I've got a thing during the day that I need to go to, right? But tomorrow, remind me it's your birthday, Rewild, and I might do an armpit and I might tune it up first. If that's okay. Yoda Coke says, regarding the lunar eclipse, yes, it was vivid bright red and it lasted for an hour and a half. Wow. To say the truth, I was most amazed when the first light hit the edge of the moon. Pure magic. Is it obvious this was my first eclipse? That's class, Yoda and Coke. Also, it's the one that you can see with your eyes as well. You know what I mean? Rather than the one that you need to look through a wee bit, which is cool. That's good, man. Kate, hiya, how's it going? Welcome in, Cater Cakes. I'm very behind in chat. I'm going to try and bring back as much of the bubble merch as I can that was in the previous store into this new store. But Kate, I believe you and I are the only people in the entire world with that bubble purse thing. But I can't talk about the bubble purse too much because I can't. That was a limited one and done sort of thing. No more of them will ever be made ever again in the world. If you blue sky the dono URL, you get a thumbnail of you rather than Fred. I don't know if there's much I can do about that, but thanks for letting me know about that, Bowsy. I think that thumbnail is just to do with the merch website. So I'm not entirely sure. Kate asks, can I commission your mum to make me one with my name on it? Aye. You definitely can. We shed, are you in? We shed. Tell my mum that Kate wants a custom jumper, please. They take about 3 or 4 weeks to make. Happy to donate the bubble purse back to you to see if you can get something for it. Oh, no. Kate, you deserve it. I'm just saying in general. Like, that's a special thing. Anyway, I've spoke too much about the bubble purse because nobody else can get it. But you keep it. I'd love to see high streets with loads of flag bubbles. Maybe that's what we should do, everybody. Let's call it Operation Raising the Colours, right? And everybody buy a 1030 bubble flag. And we just put it up and down the high street. Hello, Funkle Albert. Welcome in, folks. Aye, what's the worst that could happen there? Aye, man. And it's to do with, you know how like Americans like to use the term melting pot and stuff like that, right? So all the colours are to do with the spectrum of humanity, right? Because in humanity, you've got all different types of people, just like all the different colours, right? And so this is some post-rationalising. So that is all visually represented in a flag. There you go. There you go. If this is your first Twitch stream of mine, I don't usually sit here and talk about products and ways that you can give me money, right? This is the first time that I think I've ever done this. I've had affiliate links before, but I've never had a sponsorship. I've promoted Pip's film thing, but I've never personally done any sort of charity run or anything like that. But there's exceptional circumstances that is I want my Doug to stay alive. And thank you very much, everybody, for helping us out. Yous are all fucking cool, so thank you very, very much. 1030 now has his poor old dear making sweaters 24/7 for 20p a day. Did you hear that, poor old dear? I don't think WeShed's in chat. Sometimes my mum watches it. Mum, you hearing that? You're a poor old dear, according to S. Clarko. And if you've got beef with that, Mum, I know where he lives. Poor old dear. Okie dokie, everybody. If anybody else has got more good news, Funkle Albert is the only ad that Twitch never blocks. Brilliant. With that wee ad impressions. Do you remember my ad impressions? Kate, it's wonderful to see you in, mate. It's wonderful to see you in. Kate, do you have a game called Schedule 1? Because I know Cutter and Dolan and Llama has it. They were playing it ages ago. Ages and ages ago. But it just became on offer like yesterday, the day before. It was maybe like a wee one-off game. Is it cheap? It wasn't cheap, but then I think there was a limited... I don't know if it's still on offer, if it was a one-day thing. I've not played it yet, so I can't recommend it. But I got an email through yesterday just saying, here, this is on offer. And I was like, it was like £9 or something. So I was like, aye, go on then. And I might have that as my stream game for a wee while. Don't know if I'll start today, but you can play online and you create your own drug empire and stuff like that. It's cool. Because we were looking for something to play together. So have a wee look, see if it's cheap. Maybe wait till I've played it first or something like that. But you sell drugs, grow drugs, make drugs. Funkle Albert, hello, how's it going? I have enough 1030 bits here for 113 hydrate redeems. Is that enough to drown the poor lad? Maybe. I'm going to figure out what you can do with your channel points, right? This will somehow be involved, right? So maybe I'll have different clips of different things. See you, the viewer, right? You, by virtue of hearing this, are a viewer of my Twitch stream. What would you like for your channel points? You know what mad stuff I can do with my technology. Do you want to change the colour of the background? Would you even care about that? Do you want to make a thing pop up here? However, if you do make a thing pop up here, YouTube can demonetize me. I mean, I'm not monetized anyway, but YouTube seem to complain about that. So it's I won't get around to it for another couple of weeks, but in the meantime, if you lot can just start thinking about things that you would like to receive from your channel point redemptions, and I can make that happen. Hello Funkle Albert, hello Silver77. The missus has just clarified the Fred Macaulay reference. Can't believe I never got that. Aye, a wee while ago I stuck it. What's happening in the background there is the washing machine just knocked a thing off the counter. Pipper heard the thing get knocked off the counter and has decided to deal with it using stuff. Somebody on Twitter says 1030 talking about crypto today and being sent some. Do you know you can have your own 1030.eth address and have that as your address identity to make everything easier? Thanks very much for letting me know if you're watching, but I'm not getting right into crypto. I don't want to be one of these crypto guys with custom crypto stuff and all of that sort of stuff. The only reason I'm doing it is because somebody with crypto was like, how do I give this to you? And so when I was making the donation thing, I just added that. I'm not getting my own crypto URLs or anything, but I will gladly receive it if it means that I can pay Fred's vet bills. Hello, Mike.Almond, Crypto Schmipto. Welcome in, Mike Almond. Welcome in. How's it going? Your profile picture? Oh, it's just dark. I thought it wasn't showing. It's just dark. And Roscoe. Hold on, Roscoe. Your thing's coming through the now. Roscoe, thank you very much for the sub. Sending you 3 Bitcoin. It's the middle bit of a £2 coin. Roscoe, how's it going, man? I was talking about you last night. We were outside. I was outside the brand new stand venue. Was that last night? It was. Went to Dando's birthday. Roscoe, man, welcome in. How's it going? Thank you very much. I was outside the stand and I was like, I wonder if Roscoe's on the night. And I never pursued it because we were heading home with some food. You were in? Fuck. I'd only just ordered food. And so I was in the passenger seat with food for Paradise. See Paradise across for the stand, the new stand. It's good, man. Saffron by Paradise. I love it. It's a wee bit dear, but I love it. So I was in town for Dando's birthday. Dando had a birthday thing. And so we went in, very briefly went to that and just grabbed food. And on the way home, I was like, that's the new stand. It's a cool venue. It's really cool. I really wanted to, but I've got too much on the go now. I really wanted to go into the old stand before they took everything away and just take some photos there. Because that was like an institution, man. So I wanted to take some maybe artistic photos of it. But I think I've left it too late. I'm sure they would let me if I emailed the right person or something. But I imagine that'll all be stripped down by now. Also, I don't have any time to do it. But somebody should do that to just document the venue. They've stripped it all out. All the gear is moved over. Fair enough. At least now I can sort of cross that off in my my to-do list. But Roscoe, once again, thanks very much. Welcome in. And for anybody who's just in, like, oh fuck, 1030's into crypto now, what a cunt. No, not a cunt. Well, maybe a cunt a wee bit. But what's happening is Fred Macaulay, not the comedian, although the comedian does actually have cancer as well, right? But Fred Macaulay, the Doug, I need to raise about 3 grand's vet bills before December, and so I've created this thing that should be a pinned chat thing, and if you want to help with that, you can, and if you don't want to help with that, that's fine as well. And because of exceptional circumstances, I've also got a wee bit here where you can donate using crypto. Somebody asked me to set it up, so I have set it up. I'm not a crypto bro now. I'm still as skeptical as ever about it all, but apparently there's a big group of folk with some resources just sitting there that maybe they've no paid tax for, but to get it out of their account, they do need to declare tax on it or something like that. So, some of you might be more inclined to pay for Fred's vet bills using crypto than actual cash. And if that's you, I'll fucking take it, man. And if you think that's disgusting or whatever, I probably agree with you, so just don't worry about that bit, right? But aye, thank you very much for all your help, everybody. I think just in this stream alone, we've got probably at least another, I've not added it up, but another maybe 2 weeks worth of Fred's treatment. So thanks very much. And as I said, come the 8th of December, my insurance policy renews again, and I've got like $4,000 for that point to play with, which will, I think, without being grim about it, I think that'll cover the rest of his life. So thanks very much, everybody, for getting us to December, hopefully. So what I want to do is create like a totalizer thing like in Blue Peter, but we might not have to. I might have already reached it by the time I get round to making that. Aye, so Fred Macaulay is a comedian. Fred Macaulay is my collie called Fred. I've got a visual thing to explain this. Fred Colley, just in case anybody's confused. The fundraising stuff isn't for the comedian Fred Macaulay. Why can't I find that? Aye, here you go. Here is a visual indicator, just in case anybody's confused. Fred Macaulay. Different people. Different people, right? Because I don't want this guy after me. He's an absolute legend. He's an absolute legend as well. But it's a different thing, right? Crypto has zero stigma to me. A decentralized currency would be expected to be attacked by institutions. Every currency is used for crime. On that basis alone, it means nothing. Amtrex, aye. It's maybe a conversation I don't want to get into just now. I think my biggest worry about crypto is the energy use of it. There's lots of pure greasy guys. You know what I mean? There's like hype around it by greasy people that is very off-putting. And it looks like the CIA can dynamically control the value of Bitcoin for what I've been looking at. And if it wasn't for all of those, I might be more interested in it. But when it comes to paying Fred's vet bills, I don't give a shit about any of that, man. I just want him to stay alive, which is why I'm using it. Laura, thanks very much for donating towards Fred. I appreciate that, Laura. Thank you very much for doing that. And the Lightling, thanks very much for donating as well. Thank you very much, folks. I'll no dox you, Paul. No, that's too obvious. Let's say P. P Maxwell, exactly. I doxed somebody's first name earlier. Sorry about that. I think it's more the crypto bro rug pull twat personas involved in it rather than the thing itself. I agree, Spoggers. However, Spoggers, how you doing, by the way? A lot of people aren't really following technology and stuff. And right now, with the discourse and stuff on Twitter, things are either good or they're bad, right? And if you disagree with that binary thinking, you're something even worse. You're a centrist, which is even worse. Anna Realtor, fucking hell. Anna Realtor, thank you very much for 50 quid towards Fred. Jesus Christ. Anna Realtor, thank you very, very much. It's always good to see you in. I really appreciate that. So, I'm not going to sit here and talk about crypto. I don't think right now is the time for it. But somebody asked me if I could receive it. I've not seen how much they sent there because I don't have access to it here. But it was easy for me to set up and it's for a good cause. After Fred, I don't think I will be accepting crypto. But right now, Susan, how you doing, man? Susan, thank you very much for chucking cash in. I know we'd be lost without our wee dog. Hope Fred has many years left in him yet. Well, it's looking... The deal with Fred, right? I don't think he's got many years in him. Right now, it's between... See, if we didn't proceed with treatment, it would be a matter of weeks. And now that we're proceeding with treatment, on average, according to the vet, we're talking about a year. I'll take a year, man. See, knowing that we've got a year left means that we can make that a really good year. And it's annoying because Fred has historically been a wee nutter, right? He's a cross between a lab and a collie. And so raising him when he was a puppy, he had the terrible twos and all of that. And he was like, he'll challenge me if he thinks that I'm the boss in an area, all of that sort of stuff. He's brilliant, right? But it was a lot of work to raise him. And I'm really gutted now he's just mellowing out and he's just settling into becoming a really, really good dog that isn't a challenge to coexist with. And I'm just gutted that we'll only have about a year of that. Like, if we're lucky, man. Fuck Dad, thank you very much for a tenner, man. Moan the Fred dog, kick Cancer's cunt in. Could you kick Cancer's cunt in, Fred dog? He's sitting here absolutely oblivious that a couple hundred people are talking and thinking about him. Thank you very much, everybody. 10:30, more like 4:20. Yeah, there you go. Sorry for talking about Pippa eating Fred's stuff. Sorry about that, because people are eating their lunch. Thank you very much, everybody. Made an Eilish, right? 100%. Deary me. Poodle or a Shih Tzu? Pippa is a Shih Tzu. We think. She might be a Lhasa Apso. She's one or the other. I think she's a Lhasa Apso, actually. But aye, Pippa is a dog, yes, 100%. I'm a wee bit behind on the messages, everybody. Gives a wee minute, and I'll get to the bottom. Relaxus Max asks, what's the merch link? It's the same as the donation link. So it's 1030.co.uk. I've got a donation link in Twitch chat that takes you here for Fred, right? Everything donated through this bit here will go to Fred. But the easiest way for me to set this up so that I got all the money was to put a donation thing on my webpage. And as part of that, it allows me to, this bit's not finished, right? But it allows me to give you merch as well. So I've got a wee bit of merch up for anybody that's interested. There will be more added. But for the time being, this is the thing that I'm talking to you about. And thank you very much, everybody, for listening. You in the office on Thursday? I'm not. I'm in tomorrow, but on Thursday I'll be live on stream. Sacinda, how you doing? Thanks very much for subbing. Welcome in, Sacinda. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Rewild, I don't know what you're on about. Felt like this was a fucking humble brag the second I sent it. I forget it entirely, Rewild. No apologies needed, whatever happened. I can't even remember it. Rewild, it's good to have you in. And Sacinda, how's it going? Thanks for your Prime sub. I really appreciate that. Everyone is getting 1030 gifts for Christmas. Most will be very confused. I got my girlfriend the bubble purse for her birthday that year. Still gets used. Amazing, Stevia. So there's only 3 in existence. Kate's, mine's, and your girlfriend's there, Stevia. That's cool. I get so many compliments when I used it. Dynamite. Blaketown, thank you very much for chucking a tenner towards Fred. Blaketown, thank you very, very much for that. This is cool, everybody. Thank you, everybody. I didn't know about doing this. I felt conflicted about doing this because Fred's my responsibility. But I lost a fair bit of work this year, and this just seemed like a cool thing to do, and it's all working, everybody. So thank you very much for that. Ian McLeod, how's it going? Thanks very much for being in. Ian McLeod says it's my birthday today. Happy birthday. So we've got 2 birthdays in. Do I need to do it again? I think I do. Here we go. Ian McLeod. We sort of harmonic at the end there. That was quite good. I think that was better. I'm getting better at it. Bowdy says if you want to sell your R1, I might be into it. Bowdy, deal. Fucking deal, Bowdy. Aye. Send me a message. You know how much I paid for it. Excuse me. Aye, so we're talking about a video game. Aye, so once again, if anybody's got any other good news, please feel free to stick it in chat. And sorry I've been overloading you with energy. At the start of the stream, I took one of the Dando's Power Eckies. And it's getting me through, man. I'm feeling good. Base Embrace says, for any first-time viewers, 1030 has also put a video of his other dog's bumhole on the internet for clout. Wasn't for clout, it was for medical science. I want to know if it's alright that her bumhole does that. Anyway, it's a conversation for another time. But thanks for reminding me of the wee stinky dog's bumhole. She's a stinky dog, man. I think the hype has died down now, so it's the perfect time to get into it for the contrarians. Aye. For Schedule 1. So Schedule 1 is a game where you sell drugs on in a group setting, and it's cool, man. It's quite fun. Unfortunately, though, if I start playing it on stream just now, I've missed the hype, so people new to the game won't show up and stuff. But there you go. But I'd like to play with Kate. So I think Kate, Dolan, Cudder and Llama have definitely all got it. Don't think Zaffer Cakes has got it, but I was talking to him about Peak as well. Here, how difficult is it trying to arrange a game between people? I was speaking to somebody in work and he was saying it's impossible to arrange a game of fives. He's like, do you want a game of fives? And I'm like, mate, I've never played football in my life. I'm so bad at football it would make you angry. And he's like, listen, we are really, really struggling for people. So even if you just stand there, like stand in front of the goal and use your body to, and I'm like, I'm not doing it. He's like, fuck. It's apparently really difficult. Alan, thank you very much. Hope you get another year with your doggy, pal. Thank you very much, Alan, for helping out. I think it's as difficult to arrange a game of games with people recently. 100 channel points for you to eat a bag of Frazzles. I don't know if Roscoe's still in. Roscoe on stream once ate, I think, 10 bags of Frazzles. Frazzles are small maize-based crisps that you can get in Scotland. Potato chips! And I think I ate 12 or maybe 24 bags of Frazzles in response to Roscoe doing it on his stream. It wasn't a challenge. Nobody asked me to do it. But I wanted to, one after another, eat 12... Is it 12? Surely it was more than 12, maybe 16 bags of Frazzles. Unfortunately, though, I lost a filling in the process of doing that. That meant I needed a root canal, and the full stunt cost me 985 quid. So never competitively eat Frazzles, please. Don't, see if you see Roscoe do something, don't try and emulate it. He's a professional. He is a highly trained professional athlete. So don't try and replicate it, because I've learned from experience. Do you know what I mean? Ray's asking, hello Ray, when are you going to have the garage sale of some stuff? I don't know, man. I'm a wee bit overwhelmed with tasks just now. So right now, I'm trying to ignore that I've got a thing to do for the BBC for tomorrow. I've got a sort of presentation to give. And then I've got about 3 or 4 odd jobs to do for different pals. And then I've got a job to do for somebody else who might be in chat that I've spoke to them about, been evading them for a wee bit. So, I don't know. But what I'd quite like to do is do like a garage sale, but do it online. So I've got stuff here like a Nintendo 64, PlayStation 2s, old vinyl that might be of interest to people. It's Radiohead. I want shot of it, man, because they're mad Zionist pigs now. Different things, like prototypes for projects. I'll maybe sell my wrestling belt. I've got a very, very nice World Championship Winged Eagle wrestling belt. I'll maybe sell that to help Freddie. So, but it'll likely be maybe another 2 weeks or something before I've got all of that documented. And it'll be going on to this website. When it does go live, it'll be going on to the website. I don't know if there's a way of joining a mailing list or something on that. Maybe there isn't. I don't know. But basically, you will find out on the stream first. Or maybe no, maybe I'll tweet it. Fuck knows. But I'd quite like to get stuff on that site. And these as well. Pablo Diablo says, are we having a totalizer for the fundraising? I'd very much like that, definitely. A totalizer with different marks on it so that I know how I'm doing for each month. Anna Realtor, once again, thanks very much for donating. Everybody, thanks very much for helping. Because I want to know how much I've already got just now. Fucking hope we'll be doing this again for him this time next year, if you know what I mean. Thank you, Rewild. I really appreciate it. I don't know how it all works, but thanks very, very much. So he's in the middle of a treatment called the CHOP treatment, and that's an initialization. No, it's an acronym for something, and I forget what it's called. But it's the best treatment we can give him, basically. And so that's good to know. Also, he's got lymphoma, so that's lymphatic cancer. And when you get that diagnosis, I was thinking, oh no, have I maybe been giving him the wrong food? Have I been, taking him in front of smokers a bit too much or something? No. So it turns out, and this is just for me, for my own knowing of it, that it's like sort of not hereditary, but it's in his DNA, it's genetic. So dogs that get it are always going to get it. So at least that's making me feel a wee bit better about guilt and all of that sort of stuff, man. It's just brutal going through something like this. But you lot have really helped out, so thank you very much for making it a wee bit easier than it otherwise might be. Silver77 says, my good news, diazepam off the dock, always welcome. Silver77, I hope you're having a good night. Seriously though, all the very best. I know it's easy to make funny valleys, because valleys are good, man. But for people that are actually getting prescribed it, sounds like you're maybe in the middle of a journey that's hopefully turning into something that's better than worse. So Silver77, all the very best for that. Yes, it's Blind says, I think the dog bunghole video should play when they redeem channel points. Aye. Maybe we get just one wink of it per 1,000 channel points. Do you know what I mean? That would be good. Thumpchop, how you doing? Thumpchop Ridgepiece, thank you very much for donating. You're a legend. Thank you very much, Thumpchop. Maximum respect. And here, everybody, this is amazing what's all came through today. Once again, thanks. Let me refresh this. Thumpchop, Alan, Blaketown, Futdad, Susan, Anna Realta, Laura Swain, The Lightling, Cathrib, Paul, Jamie, Danny, Wabsnasm, Silver77, Terrible Clint, Stevja, Zabalba, Steve Zazoo, Flower Buffet, Lucy Kelly, S. Clarko, Docto, Mad Dwarfer, Zombie, Damon, Fran, Peacock, fuck it, there's tonsies, Necknell, Rock and Tony, Big Scary Deer, and Rewild. I really appreciate this, everybody. Thank you very, very much. What I'm going to try and do is get a totalizer so that we know how on target and how not on target we are. I need a wee break. Not for the stream, just I'm a bit high energy just now. I've got a lot going on. Kate says, good news, I've joined a local acting class and that's fun. I have another job interview for a wedding and an event planner on Saturday, so wish me luck. Good fucking luck, Kate. That sounds class. I want to go and see you acting. That'll be brilliant. Yes, it's bland. I think you're right in terms of the dog bum winking, but it's there, so it's not overly offensive. Do you know what I mean? I think that's good. Poor Zafricakes and his rubbish internet. He's got it fixed. I think Zafricakes' internet is back to its brilliant best. Pipper's animated bumhole emote when? It's against Twitch terms of service to put that in an emote, I believe. I might be wrong, but I think that constitutes sexual content. An endless animated emote of Pipper emerging from her own bum as she barks. That's a bit advanced there, base embrace. James is still recovering for the frazzles. I literally am still recovering for the frazzles because I paid 985 quid to have a root canal done, right? But then the root canal needs a crown that goes over the top of it. And they didn't tell me that. The crown is like at least another grand. So this was about 2 years ago. I got the root canal done and just haven't been back to put a crown over the top. So I think because of that, the whole tooth is just fucked. So after Fred dies, man, we might do another fundraiser for my teeth. But we'll leave that, right? Priorities. Right now, focus on keep the Doug alive, right? Dearie me. Poor Reese's mouth was in bits. What's happened, Anna Realta? Oh, with the frazzles, aye. Roscoe says, I've eaten frazzles before. I know, mate. You ate frazzles and made it look so appealing that I thought I could do it. And I couldn't do it. Anyway, virtual garage auction sounds fun. I think it does, Rock and Tony. It solves a couple of different problems because I've got lots of crap here that I don't really want, right? See, to be honest, I don't want an Atari 2600, but I've got one sitting right there. And one of you might want an Atari 2600 or Sonic 3 for the Mega Drive or etc. Loads of other things. So I was going to stick them all on eBay. And I went online and everybody's saying eBay's shite now. If you're a seller, don't sell stuff on eBay. So there's another place up in Stewarton, which is just a guy that's got like a place in a retail park, right? It's called Forgotten Worlds. And it's cool. See if you're travelling through Stewarton, which nobody ever is. But if you're travelling through Stewarton, go into Forgotten Worlds. It's just one guy's project where he's selling old second-hand video games, board games, all that sort of stuff. I keep trying to plan to go there. I would love to go there. So I was going to index everything that I've got and try and sell it to him as one big lump. But obviously he's running for profit, right? So whatever I sell it to him, he needs to sell it to somebody else and all like that. So it became like a big infrastructural problem that I just can't be arsed with, man. However, Wee Fred the dog is a motivator, isn't he? So if I can, so I've already built this website, and I can put things on that website that I physically own, right? So if somebody buys it, just comes through to me, tells me where to send it, done. They take care of all the payment and stuff like that, and I get more money than if I was to do it on eBay. So I'm thinking about doing that, but that'll be a good couple of weeks because I need to get on top of some other jobs and things like that. But I think that could be cool. Imagine me sitting here like QVC. Do you still get QVC? Silver77 says, was watching old footage of yourself and Lemmy on Rust yesterday. Bring back the glory days. Well, I was speaking to some people last night. Was it the night before last? And there's rumours of a new Rust server, everybody. What? There's a new Rust server coming, and I'm fucking tempted. But obviously some horrific stuff has happened on previous Rust servers that's making me sort of... Rachel's like, don't do it, man. Don't do it, man. And I'm like, because Rust has really changed, man. Rust has improved. It looks a lot better. Everything's brilliant. Dear Mr. Houston, this is my rent, people. We have recently received a payment from you. However, your payment was unreferenced and we have only now been able to allocate it to your account. Right. Aye, cool. Aye, cool. I shot it there. They're like, we've got it though. Aye, cool. Right. Shat my pants. That's the last thing I need. Imagine we get chucked out of our house right now. I'm in the middle of everything. Oh my God. The lightning you used to wrestle, I've got maximum respect for pro wrestlers, man. My body's all ruined, right? But there was a time where I could have got a day's training with Lionheart and Wolfgang from ICW in a ring with Greg Hemphill and Robert Florence. And more than anything, I wanted to go in and get tore in. But you see like a weird light thing that keeps happening here. I wonder what that's about. But I just couldn't. And forever, I've regretted that opportunity. Maximum respect to all the pro wrestlers, man. I adore wrestling. Stevja just says, I signed up for the mailing list when you first made it. Not sure it does anything though. Aye, Stevja, that doesn't exist anymore. I think I got everybody's emails and then just deleted everything. Would you consider CBD oil for Fred? The vet school that I went to was just saying to me, basically, listen, we get people in, we're treating the dogs. And if you try and give your dog any alternative therapy, it will mess with us doing treatment. And they said, if anything will help Fred, they know what it is and they will prescribe it. So I was like, okay. So I think there is probably clinical trials for CBD oil. In animals, I don't know about any of that. For people, I've heard mixed reviews. I remember CBD oil was a big deal about 2 years ago, and they were advertising it to people. But then there was a study coming out saying it actually wasn't as good and all that sort of stuff. I'm quite interested in CBD cannabis just now. So, do I want to speak about this freely? Yes, I do. Fuck it. One of you sent me a link, right? So historically, you know that I've got a unhealthy relationship with cannabis, right? When I was younger, I smoked tons and tons of weed. Nothing against weed, but for me, I was just smoking too much and I wasn't getting anything done. And every now and again, when maybe I'm going through something like my dog having cancer, or fucking I've lost a big bit of work, or something else is happening, every now and again, I've got the call to just phone a guy up and buy a couple of grams and then just disappear for the world for 2 weeks, right? See, for me, that's very, very appealing. It's one of my most favourite things. When I wake up in the morning, I need to deny me for doing that, right? Other people use weed freely and it's great for them and it helps a lot of people. See, for me, if I've got it in the house, I need to consume it all and I need to get to the end of it. So it's good to moderate your own relationship with stuff, right? So, somebody in chat said, have you tried this stuff? And I was like, what? In fact, I shouldn't have told you the name there. This isn't an advert or anything. But this, it goes on offer every now and again. This here is weed that doesn't get you high. Doesn't get you high. Not even just a wee bit. Foxpod, thanks for the follow. This here is like the equivalent of alcohol-free beer, but for weed. And I've been experimenting with a wee bit, perfectly legal. You get it from France, right? And any time in my life, I'm tempted to just go back to the dark side. I think from now on, I've got a good solution. So, this, to me, appears to fulfill all the good parts of weed that I got, right? All the therapeutic stuff of like calming me down a wee bit. I'm autistic as well, right? And I was speaking to somebody and they reckon that, because I don't stim much, like when I'm talking, I might do this, right? But autistic people tend to stim. And it turns out my stimming was going home, loading up a big bong and getting fucking Jeffrey'd out my gourd. And the weed helped calm me down and stuff like that, but it also made me totally baked. Like I was just high all the time. And nothing wrong with being high, right? But see, when you're high all the time and you're nearly 40, if you're high all the time, and you know, that can be a problem. So, this, for me, just personally, I won't advertise the place, but it's perfectly legal and smells like weed, looks like weed, tastes like weed, doesn't get you high, but satisfies the other needs that I've got from weed. So, earlier this morning, woke up, was feeling hella jittery, was feeling a wee bit anxious, my mind's racing, thinking about different things, wee bit overwhelmed with loads of stuff that I need to do, everything else. Rolled some of that into some papers, smoked it, and then went on with the rest of my life and got loads of stuff done. And that's something that I would never be able to do if I was smoking conventional cannabis. Also, it's dirt cheap compared to actual fun weed. So it's not fun in any way. You don't get any sort of positive high or stoned or anything. Music doesn't sound better. Food doesn't taste better or anything like that. But it definitely, it may be a placebo or something like that, definitely gives me a benefit that I was looking for with the weed that I would buy from a man in a car park who's maybe funding the triads for all I know. I don't know, right? So, like, for example, if I woke up and I smoked a regular joint at the same time as I smoke that, there's no way I would be on Twitch just now if that was a normal weed joint, because I would be high and I don't want to be in front of you lot when I'm high and all of that, and I would be all, the fear would be in my hands. Do you know what I mean? I've got a very unhealthy relationship with THC, as it turns out. So this stuff's THC free, and it might be a life-changing thing for me. So I will keep you updated there. Ultimately, what I really want is an ADHD diagnosis so that I don't need to mask ADHD with this sort of nonsense. But that's a story for a different time. But I thought I'd just talk to you about that because I've been quite open with my whole... And there's people rolling their eyes. There's people like, oh, you're addicted to weed. I'll fucking tell you about addiction. You should try. And I'm like, aye, it's not a competition, man. It's not a competition. Everybody's got troubles with different things and all of that sort of stuff. But I'm just talking about me. And it looks like this might be a good solution. Anyway. I'd love to try find the chat on the beach 10:30 had with Rat King Limmy was a wild night. Aye. Well, I think that's online somewhere. Somebody edited it for Limmy, but removed most of the stuff that I've said. So if you want to see that conversation of just Limmy... Remember we had the therapy session? Pretty sure Limmy won't jump back into Rust. I'm almost certain. You can ask him, but I would put money on him just not interacting with anybody ever again in public. Was watching Old Foot. Aye, sorry, just read that. Don't want to speak on his behalf. I might be wrong. It's been a wee while since I've spoke to him about him. Aye, so that mailing list, Stevia, now doesn't exist. There's lots of footage from all them days. Superb. Aye, Limmy's Twitch Clips Plus is the person that edited all of that. Blaketown asks, what's the target? So the target is about $3,000, but I've got up until December to pay that, so it doesn't all need to be in one go, which is kind of cool. Kate says Twitch won't allow a bumhole or the word MILF. Ask me how I know. Kate, I can't wait till you're back streaming, man. Are you going to come back streaming? I was trying to convince Dando to come back streaming. Dando's like that. Full of dicks. She never said that. I made a 3D model of the Chuckle Brothers. I hope to animate it soon. The Lightling, that sounds brilliant. That sounds absolutely mad. That sounds like something that would definitely take on Twitter. Hello, John Candy fan. Welcome in. How's it going? Forgotten Worlds is great. They've opened up into another one of the units. I would like to go to Forgotten Worlds in Stewarton and do it for the stream, maybe at some point. Here, everybody, look at the clock. It's 3:16. Happy Austin 3:16, folks. See, when it's 3:16, if you care about Austin 3:16, I just want to highlight this new merch that I've got. It's called Houston 1030, and it's the same font exactly as Austin 3:16. Doesn't have a skull on the back, but if you want to buy that, you can do so at 1030.co.uk. Been meaning to head over to Forgotten Worlds. Looks class. Aye, same here. So apparently they've just moved to a massive new unit. I might go through some of my stuff and get in touch with the guy, and we'll take a wee trip. I remember for my birthday just there, it was my birthday at the end of August, and Rachel said, listen, you can do whatever you want, right? Do you want to go to this restaurant? We can have a nice meal. And I'm like, don't fancy it. She's like, well, do you want to, we could maybe go a wee walk and there's like different parks round about. And I'm like, aye, maybe. Or do you want to get folk over? And I'm like, I don't fancy that either. She's like, right, we'll have a think. We could do it, and it's your birthday. She had the day off. And because she had the day off, she was wanting to do something herself. And I'm like, can't really got a lot on my mind now, can't be fucked. And then I remembered, I was like, listen, there's an industrial unit in Stewarton that I've been wanting to go to for a wee while. She's like, we're going to walk in the park. And I'm like, aye, right, we'll go a walk in the park. So I still haven't got to Forgotten Worlds, and it would be good to visit Forgotten Worlds, I think, definitely. Set to Build says, sorry, I forgot you all hate frogs. Did you post a frog emote? I didn't see that. Set to Build. Don't take it personally. We've got frog rules in here because, you know, I'm not going to get into it. But thank you very much for respecting the frog rules. Alban Albino says, but this Rust server will be different. Only good people on it will lead to good things. Aye, this one will be different. I'm pretty sure. It's a shame about Rust. You were a great watch on it as someone who's only seen the VODs. Thank you, Rewild. Well, I might get back into it, but as you know, don't want to bring it back up because that was years now, so it's best behind us. But as you know, it caused a wee bit of bother in my personal life because somebody took it a bit too seriously. Not better, just telling the truth. Where are we? I got to play on non-PvP Rust server, except at Monuments. Was good, amazing. I've always thought it would be fun to have like a small island Rust, right? And we treat it a bit like Big Brother. So we get in only people that we know in real life, only folk we've met up with. Kate, Adad, Scroobius Pip, Dando, your Zaffer Cakes, your Roscoe's, all of that sort of stuff, right? But we plan it well in advance. And maybe we're only on for a week, right? But we do some sort of Big Brother-y stuff. So we're all, I don't know the ins and outs, right? But we set it up purely to make content. Maybe we vote each other out or something like that. Fat Dad says, I trained with Lionheart and Wolfgang among others in my youth. Lasted 3 weeks. You quickly find out it's not for you after hours of taking bumps. I imagine. My body, especially at that time, my body's so fucked up that I don't even think I could have taken one bump. Back when I was offered, I had toothache, which I've still got, going up into this eye, right? That was kind of mixed with sinusitis as well. I've got bad sinuses. So it meant when I walked about, every single time my foot would hit the ground, it was like an electric shock coming from my left eye all the way down my body. It was horrible. And that was just by walking. So I thought there's no chance I could go in a ring and get like power bombed or something like that. But it's one of the biggest regrets I've ever had. I wanted to just be in a wrestling ring. But I'm quite uncoordinated a person. So I don't think it's for me. I think if I was to pick up a wrestling career, it might be in, behind the scenes or something. I need to actually speak to Mark Dallas again. So Mark Dallas, who formerly ran ICW before WWF took it over, me and him ended up chatting for about 3 hours on a phone call during lockdown about everything, about absolutely everything. And he's a cool guy, I think. I like him a lot. I've only really spoke to him face to face that one time. And it was during lockdown. And he said to me, see, after lockdown, man, see when everything's all back and up and running. I'm like, aye, me and you, man, me and you. And I was like, what? He's like, me and you, by the way. And I'm like, ah. So I don't know what that meant. I think it meant, oh, we'll meet up and go to the pub or something like that. I hope that's what it meant. But I think we were both a bit wrecked. And so I don't think he'll have remembered that. But I keep meaning to get in touch. Just be like, all right, man, what are you up to? Do you want to come on the stream or meet up in a pub and talk to each other or something? Because I imagine he will be able to tell some amount of stories. Like, he knows Triple H and Shawn Michaels and all that. And I want a private chat where if there's anything interesting, he'll tell me. I think he's cool. Also used to buy weed off of another ICW wrestler, so I kind of know him a wee bit as well. I used to train for 5 months, then one day as I went to do a warm-up before training, I became sick and no idea. Wow. So I wonder, was that psychologically sick at the idea of training, or just your body was saying, listen, that's enough? Maximum respect to wrestlers, man. Even if you've got a healthy career and you're doing it all right and stuff like that, your body's just getting absolutely fucked, man, for other people's entertainment. Cock and ball destruction oil? Yes, Roscoe. Do you know a guy? Anyway. My next door neighbour slings pot. It's awful. I could just drop over and get a Henry anytime. A Henry? You mean an 8th? Henry the 8th. Is that Shaun of the Dead, isn't it? Aye, it's a good job, my neighbour. I mean, I could have a guy deliver it to my house within 20 minutes from right now if I want. It's too easy for me. But hopefully I've tried and failed to quit it multiple times before. I've went about 4 years without smoking any weed, but when I'm on it, I'm like Willie Nelson level weed smoker, and it's shite after a wee while, man. Nothing wrong with MDL smoking it. A lot of people smoke it. That's cool, man. Just talking about for me. Pedropolis, hiya, how's it going? Pedropolis says, good news, I got a large delivery of CBD flower at the weekend. Got a good price in the sale and it'll last me till Christmas. Me too, Pedropolis. How's it going? It's good to see you in. Foxpod says, oil is one of the best mood lifters. I have a prescription. The oil is much longer lasting and I have it before sleep. Amazing. It's mad how nowadays you can just go into Holland and Barrett and get some CBD oil. It's cool, isn't it? Glad you get a nice effect off it. It's the same for me, also autistic and an old ex-stoner. Amazing, Pedropolis. I think this might be exactly what I need. It satisfies the need. See, for me particularly, like imagine I've been doing professional work or whatever. It's been a wee while since this has happened. Or I'm thinking about stuff in life that would maybe get you down or something like that. Or at the end of a hard day, if your head's just fucking nipping, right? That's when I want to go home and just tan bongs. Tan bongs until I fall asleep. And that's not really healthy because that means I'm depending on it. You know what I mean? That's not healthy. It'd be different if maybe once every couple of months I met up with pals and we smoked some Jeffries while watching The Big Lebowski or something like that. That's a different vibe. Hello, Viva La Hazy. Welcome in. Rhinoceros asks, does it still smell like weed? Aye. Smells like weed, looks like weed, tastes like weed. It's all weed, except from it doesn't have THC in it. Or it's got like 0.0.0000. So apparently you could be smoking this all day and you won't feel high, which is interesting. RCL Studio says, where can you get good oil? Try just Holland and Barrett, I think. Maybe a wee bit dearer. There's probably cheaper, better places. But at least in Holland and Barrett, you know that you're getting real stuff in it. And if it works for you, you could then go on the internet and find a cheaper alternative, maybe if it turns out you need it regularly. Because I think there's a market for counterfeit stuff and all of that shite online. CBD is a lot better if you load it up in your system. Constantly having it here and there isn't fully effective. Good to know, Foxpod. They have another sale on with different strains. The Mountain Berry is very good. Nice one. I should be on commission, Pedropolis. I wonder if I could get an affiliate link for a cannabis sponsor. That would be cool. B. Dolan would be very jealous, man. That would be great. Have it every day if you can. Interesting. Pill Popping Crypto Bro 1030 wants you to subsidise his dog's healthcare. Dearie me. So I wouldn't want to smoke this out and about because the police will be like, "Ho you!" And it would be fair enough. I like to mix it with a bit of THC weed with some CBD weed when I roll, how to control how strong it is. Amazing. I think I'm just off THC for my full life now. That's me. Friday night team gaming stream with all the troops would be amazing. It would be good. It'd be good to get the lads back together. That would be great. Who's in 1030 says, I just bought your shirt. Amazing, Rockin' Tony. Dando not going back to streaming? Don't think so. I don't have any alternatives for sock mic influencers. I could maybe put a sock over my own mic, but I've got a pop shield. So I don't know, man. I don't think Dando's coming back. I think Dando's doing really well. She's on her course and Dando's doing good. But we might have Dando on this stream playing games. 1030 with your wee personal photographer, Mac Shack, was brilliant on Rust, amongst many other things. Amazing how it all worked with all the different folk and the creativity involved. When it was good, it was amazing, Silver 77. I really enjoyed that first ever thing. It was important to all of us because of lockdown as well. But there'll be many other cool shit in the future, man. Keep watching. Also, you won't have a tolerance to THC, so when you feel like it, 1 or 2 tokes gives you a nice buzz, like you're not a smoker. Interesting. Rolling Sausage says, tell the truth, you burnt down the loft the night before your birthday and you slept in because of the drama. I slept in because I was going through a lot of psychic energy at that point. Mario Lane, we are cult. Praise the sun, praise the moon, 100%. Good God. Mate, thank you very much. That's a biggie. That is a big one. Beneath the headphones, thank you very, very, very much for that. Beneath headphones, I hope you took advantage of September there. I hope you get money off. Beneath headphones, thanks very much for gifting us up to Gorilla Glue, to Fox Pod, to Spock 80, to Dame Aylin, and to Utani PL. If I've just said your name there, is because Beneath the Headphones has just gifted you a sub to this channel. I very much appreciate that. BTH, how you doing, man? I hope your headphone empty is going very well. Thank you very much for your generosity there. That's very cool, man. So I was going to update you if you're just in, but you've been in for ages. Hello, Weeshed. Kate wants to buy a jumper off my maw, so we've maybe got a commission, maybe get a maw jumper commission. Obviously, I want a 20% finder's fee. Where are we? Thank you very much, Beneath the Headphones. Set to Build says, my bad, 10:30. Emotes are like a second language to me, and I forget some words are offensive. I Set to Build, so the whole, you don't apologise or anything, because different people have got different ideas about Pepe the Frog. And I just decided a wee while ago that I don't want any Pepe the Frog stuff in here, because a small group of right-wing folk kind of use it as shorthand for some mad right-wing stuff. And if another person is in a Twitch chat and they see it, that person might think, oh, is that sort of chat? And they might start some pish. A lot of other folk use Pepe the Frogs completely innocently. And a lot of people want to reclaim the frog. And fair enough with all of that, and credit to them and stuff like that. But it's just easier in here. I've noticed that since we started not allowing frogs in here, that I've had to, like, just the chat's been better. I don't really ban anybody anymore. There's been no edgy boys coming in and stuff like that. So it might all just be part of that. But for anybody that accidentally uses one or whatever, like, you won't get banned or anything, unless you start talking about like men's right activism or something like that after you've used the frog emote. But I think people use it innocently and stuff, and it's all fine. So, that's just the state that we're in just now. Chameleon says, yeah, I lasted maybe 6 weeks in wrestling training, then I get chopped in the chest the first time and was like, fuck that. Well, there's certain wrestlers that just say, listen, no chops, don't want to ever get chopped. And that's fair enough. I worked alongside pro wrestlers when I was doing the Two Stripe t-shirts. Not this one, but there's a flavour of Two Stripe with a big 2 on it. And I put the ink, and it's thick ink, and I've put it right in the chop location, so that if they get chopped, it makes an amazing sound. So the Two Stripe big 2 t-shirts were acoustically engineered by wrestlers. But anyway, hi Freddy Dog, how you doing? You want to say hello to me? Oh, it's Fred Macaulay. Oh, it's wee Fred Macaulay, wee doggy. Yeah. And how's your eye doing? He's got a wee sore eye as well, and I don't know if that's anything to do with his overarching illness. But he had a sore eye on the other side, and it disappeared after a couple of days. Now he's got it on his right-hand side, so we need to keep a wee look at that, don't we, pal? And all his fur is coming in, so he got his big belly shaved recently, because they had to do like an ultrasound and stuff of his lungs and everything, and his big shaved bits all coming in with his wee fine hairs and stuff, and it's fun to give scratches. It's all like, and I think it feels good for him as well, so he'll roll over, he's just like, belly, do the belly, so it must feel better on him, you know what I mean? It's like when you get a haircut and you can get right in. Oh goodness me, Stephanie, thank you very much for chunking us $20. Stephanie, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Good boy, Fred. Get the cancer gone. 100%. Thanks for helping us do that, Stephanie. And so if you're just in, once again, although I think we've maybe got to this month's goal already. I'll need to get a totalizer on the go. But if you're just in, today's news, my good news is I've set up a page where anybody that wants to help Fred, you're more than welcome to do so. And thank you very much, everybody, for already doing it. I appreciate it. Thank you. Where are we? We had an island to ourselves on a playthrough with Taff and Ad and the gang, says Funkle. It descended into absolute fucking chaos. Of course it did. It's Rust. Rust, man. Stevie Boy, do you know Mark Dallas? Welcome in, Stevie Boy. Community says Dallas is running, or at least involved in clan wrestling, as far as I'm aware. He was one of the hockey games a couple of weeks ago doing heel promo stuff. Cool, man. That's class. Maybe it's a Houston Dallas thing. That would be fun. Not heard Henry for many moons. Aye. Hello, Wee Shed. Welcome in. Hello, Pedropolis. Foxpod says, no, mine is THC CBD mix prescribed by the doctor. Very cool. Is that on that Aspire program or something? Anyone here experienced the whole medical private prescription scene for getting bud that's not funding all sorts of unknown crimes? Pinched where a couple of my pals are on that. There's somebody that I speak to on Twitch regularly that uses it, but if they were in chat, they would mention it themselves, and I don't want to out them because they might not want me talking about it. But because I've spoke to them a wee bit, I know a wee bit about it. So there's something called the Sapphire program, and I think depending on who you are, you need to have had 2 previous treatments, like talking-based therapy or an SSRI that's proven to be ineffective with yourself. Then you can get a private THC cannabis prescription. But it still costs you like £200 a month or something like that. It's still quite dear. And turns out that the person that owns most of these it's not NHS, most of these private cannabis farms is the husband of Theresa May, who, when she was Prime Minister, invoked the psychoactive substance ban, which got rid of a lot of cool, fun recreational things and some other things that people were using for therapeutic uses. Meanwhile, her husband is profiting from programs like that, where essentially dealing weed is legal. However, for people that need it, that is maybe the best route to go down because it's grown in a lab and it's verified and clinically tested and all that stuff, and it's guaranteed to not have a big handful of pubes in it when it arrives, unlike weed that you might buy for some guy somewhere. Anyway, I've spoken maybe a bit too much about weed this term because for a lot of people, you don't care about it and it's not interesting. But if you look up the Sapphire program, and I think there's maybe some other ones available as well. It's been a wee while since I got into it. Rhymnoceros says, I found ashwagandha pills were better than CBD oil. Cool. I've never had ashwagandha pills. What was it? Zaffer was talking about recently, L-theanine and like rhodesia something, rhodesia thing. That I want to maybe check that out. Some police up here are sound about it, says Graham. Just depends, doesn't it? Ever since Dando got her countertop dishwasher, she thinks she's too good to stream. Dearie me. Used to get Yuba Gold in the 80s. No idea what that is, terrible cunt. Beneath the Headphones, once again, thank you very much for the gift subs, man. And thanks everybody for coming in and watching me here doing this. I've never heard the term Yuba Gold. I don't think gift subs are cheap until the last week of the month. I see, Blaketown, I see. Sorry then to Docto and to Beneath the Headphones for asking if they got a deal. And Oscillating Todger as well. 6 days ago gave me gift subs. Sorry for implying that you could get money off because I don't think you can. September is money off some subs, but I don't know all the ins and outs because it changes every year. Moan the Glue. You're a legend. Thank you very much, Headphones. Was never a fan of Pepe at centre back either. Always had a red card him. We've missed your contributions in here, Viva La Hazy. How's it going, man? We know Matt Fury, the creator of Pepe, through a friend of a friend. It sucks to see his work used for evil, so I'll try to use him for love. Cool. I wonder if he's given like a public statement about it all, because I know that a lot of people are trying to reclaim the frog. But at this stage, in certain circles on the internet, it's kind of like trying to reclaim the swastika, you know? If ever you're talking about Nazi iconography, and they're like, well, actually, it was a Buddhist symbol of peace before, and we're like, aye, it fucking obviously was, but you know what I mean? It's not exactly an argument you want to get into. I don't want to ever have any ambiguity whether or not I've got fascistic right-wing Nazi leanings. Do you know what I mean? But aye, it would be shite. Imagine you create a character that is widely celebrated on the internet, and then a minority of fascists co-opt it, and now that is shorthand for fash gear. So, aye, my condolences to Matt Fury. I wonder if he could like create a big YouTube video about it or something and kind of get some support. We're the frog licking crew, not the frog emote crew. Aye, and nothing against wee frogs. Frogs are wee cool guys, man. Everyone's got a plan till you get chopped in the chest. I've been chopped in the chest before, but not professionally, just by mates and stuff. When I was a wee guy, I used to be a wrestler like you until I took a chop in the chest. Hello, DC Stewarty. Did you not say he had a bald patch the other day and was going to ask the vet? Aye, turns out that was just an IV. So he goes every couple of times to get chemotherapy treatment. Sometimes it's just a pill that they give him. Other times it's an intravenous, he's on a drip. So he's got a port here where they go in and a port on this arm as well. And I guess that last time we went, they needed to go in via the neck. So that's why his neck was shaved. But they didn't tell us that. So later on that night, I was just giving him a wee scratch and I noticed a big bald patch with like a bruise under it. And I'm like, oh my God, because the cancer originally started on his lymph nodes. And that was kind of near the lymph nodes. And I'm like, I don't know anything about biology or medicine or anything like that, right? So I was like, oh my God, there's a badness in that area that's causing things to happen. No, they just shaved it a wee bit so that they've got access to the vein. So that was cool. But I wish we'd known about that. Anyway, we don't need to talk about the shaved bits. He feels bad about it. Aye, he's a wee bit self-conscious, man. How much do you have to raise? Dominant Psycho, I don't know because I don't know how much we've raised today, right? But the total vet bills are in the thousands. I've got a good insurance for him, right? So already my insurance is covered every year, right? My insurance will cover £4,000. And it's a 16-week treatment, I think. All these numbers are fuzzy. I'll have it written down so that I can tell you. Since people are contributing to it, I want to be as open and honest. So I'll have all this stuff written down for anybody that cares. So basically, we are just about to run out of this year's £4,000, right? And so treatment from, I think, next week until the 8th of December needs to be paid under my own pocket. And I keep recalculating how much that is, but it's ballpark because every time he goes in, the treatment's very slightly different. But it's roughly about £3,000. Might be a wee bit over depending on if he gets more injections towards the end rather than pills towards the end. Maybe a wee bit under the other way. So it's approximately about £3,000. And I think already we've made, just today alone, I think we've made at least, 600 quid maybe? I've not totaled it up, so I don't know. And what's cool is I don't need to pay that £3,000 in the one go because his treatment is weekly. So every time I go, it's between £300 and £550, depending on what the treatment is. So I thought this might be a good way of doing it. We don't need it all a lump sum, but what I want to create for you is some visual indicator so as that we know when the treatment dates are going to be and how over and how under we are and stuff. But it's like approximately about £3,000 we're talking. And once again, thanks very much everybody for helping it out. It's amazing. Go and see Mr. May. Rhodolia. I'm not too sure, Sotty. Hello, Sotty. Welcome in. He made a documentary about it. The frog guy. He sued them for loads. Fucking cool. Was he successful? Hi, I'm Mootsie, by the way. Welcome in. What I want to do, right, is... See when I phone up Stone Cold Steve Austin, he has a ringtone. Rachel, see if you're watching, could you give me a phone, please? And I will let you hear Stone Cold Steve Austin's ringtone. So Rachel might phone me in a wee bit if she's still listening to the chat. And so what I would like to do is make this ringtone available to you. Thank you very much, Rachel. So I don't know if you heard that or if it did the whole me. No, the mobile phone noise. But that there is a Nokia cover that I made of Cool Jinzo's Kingdom of Scotland tune, right? So everybody knows Kingdom of Scotland, very widely celebrated, cool thing. And a lot of people have asked me, where did I get that ringtone? And I've been like, it's no for me to give out because it's a cover that I've made of Cool Jinzo's Kingdom of Scotland, right? Look at me, I'm at the bottom of the chat. It doesn't do that anymore because of the frequency for 3G, 4G doesn't interfere anymore. Really, Funkle Albert? I just thought it was that modern sound equipment is protected or something because of ferromagnetic things. I don't know. Any boffins in? Who would know about that? There's a couple of folk in chat specifically. Meatballs would know exactly about that. Candlelight might know exactly about that. But I'll be honest with you. So is it to do with 3G and 4G? I think that was the handshake signal between the tower and the handset. Interesting. So that sound is now vintage and retro. Wonder if there's a project in it. Talking of cool streamers that don't stream anymore, is Cool Jinzo ever coming back? Listen, man, Cool Jinzo's a wild card. Cool Jinzo is very unpredictable. He might be back tomorrow. You might never see him again. Don't ask me to predict what Jinzo's up to, man. Seriously. Jinzo for me is like taking ketamine. You don't know what you're going to get. But it'll probably be good. But every time's completely different, man. You don't have a clue as to what's going on. And I love him to bits for that. So hopefully Jinzo will come back. I love Cool Jinzo. I think he's brilliant. But no idea, man. Not a clue. Big Scary Deer says, what I can tell you is that my phone no longer does, but my vape does make that sound next to my mic. Really, Big Scary Deer? Your vape? Is your vape in any way like wireless? Has it got a SIM card in it? Big Scary Deer, I think the Russians are spying on you via your vape. By the way, everybody, did you know that vapes have got microphones in them? This is true. Vapes have got small electric, what's it called? Special type of microphone in them, right? But not to record your audio. It's the best method, or the best cheapest method they found out, so that they can detect when you're soaking the vape in. So on a vape, it's not a piezoelectric, it's an electret microphone, I think it's called. Electret. It's not called electret. It is called electret. An electret microphone, which looks like... I'll see if I can find a website that will show me it without doxing my postcode. Aye. So inside a vape, you've got one of these. An electret microphone. In most vapes. However, it's not for listening to you. So there you go, you can buy multiple electret microphones if you want. But they're wee microphones like this. And if you are creating a project, you can buy electret microphones and use them to talk into stuff and use them as a typical microphone. But that's not why they're in a vape. The reason they're in a vape is because previously with vapes, right, they used to work in a way that you held down a button and that'll heat up the coil. And then when you're holding the button down, you breathe in and then you let go of the button. So the heater element is only heating up when you're breathing in so that it doesn't, go on fire or whatever. But modern vapes, or some of them anyway, I don't have much experience with vapes, but a lot of them don't have that button anymore. and will only activate the coil when you're breathing in. And that's where the microphone comes in. So next to the flow of air on the inside is that microphone. That microphone's always sitting there listening for air getting sucked across the top of it. When it detects air is getting sucked across the top of it, it will immediately then activate the coil in it. Because I saw online there were some people that were opening up their vapes, because disposable vapes are bad for the environment, right? They've got batteries and battery chargers in them that could be recycled. So there's a lot of people that have been opening up their old vapes. And I'd recommend don't fuck about with batteries unless you know what you're doing, because they can explode and they can cause fires and stuff. But boffins on the internet have been recycling electric components from the inside of vapes, right? And when they've opened them up, they've realised, wait a wee minute, is that an electret microphone that's inside my vape? And they're looking like, this is a Chinese manufacturer. Are the Chinese spying on us via vape technology? No. It's just a cost-effective way of detecting sook power. And I thought that was kind of cool. It's interesting, isn't it? But hi, Funkle, thanks very much for telling me about the whole 3G, 4G, did it sort of stuff. It's interesting. I used that sound effect when I made my audio CV to represent in the 2000s. Remember the 2000s, man? Oof. Kids these days don't know the dial-up noise or the mobile phone call interference. Aye. I remember when I was a child thinking, oh well, at least when I'm an adult, because I had to do all the computer support for every adult in my life, right? Because I was young and I knew about computers. So I was the computer support guy. I still am. I don't mind, right? Because I like people and I like to help them and stuff. And some of it's hard, right? Some of it's hard unless you're into it all. But I remember being a wee child and thinking, well, when I'm a grown-up adult, I won't have to do this anymore because there'll be a generation of people underneath me. So when I'm an adult and I want something fixed, I'll just give it to a Wayne that's in my family and they'll be able to fix it for me. Now, Waynes these days are that used to like touch screens and mobile phone interfaces and stuff like that. They don't really have any good experience of file systems or operating systems unless they happen to be an enthusiast themselves, you know. But it seems like my generation are the only generation that as a whole sort of knew about computers a wee bit. It's interesting, isn't it, how there's all this sort of lost knowledge. And then, right, on top of that, imagine being a child growing up just now and experiencing AI technology, like image synthesis and LLMs and, you know, all your chat GPTs and everything like that. So with the more advanced technology gets, the more it seems like magic. I think I've just butchered a Bertrand Russell quote. And so I think the generations below me won't fucking know about computers or how to use them or whatever. So I think has anybody else experienced that? Where I'm just like, all right, so now I'm fixing technology for the generation above me and the generation below me and my own generation as well. Mental, man, mental. Hugh TV says, I hooked one of those Electret mics from a vape up to my Silly-Scope. They appear to have a chip that gives an on-off output, not audio. That's quite cool. That's cool. So it's a binary. It's either receiving sound or it isn't. That's interesting. A dictaphone vape would be sick. You need to patent that. Here's my idea beneath the headphones. You know, in Twin Peaks, right? When your man's talking to Diane, he's like, Diane, take a reminder that I need to take the chips out of the oven in 40 minutes, right? Wouldn't it be cool to get Agent, what's his name again? Who's the agent guy? Kyle MacLachlan. Agent Kyle McLamachan, right? Wouldn't it be cool to get his exact dictaphone, but somehow rig that up to a large language model like ChatGPT or something. Dale Cooper, thank you very much. Wouldn't that be cool? So you can cut about talking to Diane. Diane, take a reminder. I need to phone up and cancel blah, blah, blah. You know what it's like. Cheers, Diane. And then later on, you'll get an email through from Diane saying, all right, this is your agenda, blah, 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 blah. I think that could be a fun wee project. I wonder what prop Dale Cooper used. Dale Cooper dictaphone prop. Tell you what, see if I can get this online for cheap. I will buy it and we will start that project in a year's time, right? Twin Peaks prop, Dale Cooper's tape record. Oh, so he had multiple ones. In the autobiography of FBI Special Agent Dale Cooper, My Life, My Tapes, author Scott Frost establishes that Coop has been fascinated by tape recorders since he was a child. As any viewer of the series can attest, this checks out. Throughout Twin Peaks, Dale Cooper uses a total of 3 different microcassette recorders. Here's a closer look at his collection. So we've got a Panasonic RN105. We've got... Did anybody see another one? I'm just skimming this. A Micro 26. And see if we could get one of these that doesn't work, that is in non-working order. Other than I've just realised I'm over this side. But if I'm over this side and I'm looking at the web page, it looks as if I'm looking at the thing that you're looking at. There should be a third one then. Micro 27. A realistic Micro 27. Cami Ra, how you doing? Welcome in. Thanks very much for the sub, Cami Ra. If you're just joining, it would be important to draw your attention to the pinned link in chat. I'm raising money for Fred's chemo treatment. But if you're just joining, I'm indulging in a wee idea that I probably won't actually execute. The idea is to replicate the physical model of Dale Cooper's microcassette recorder, but instead of recording messages for Diane, it would somehow interface with like a ChatGPT assistant that could take all your notes and stuff. I think that would be an interesting idea. Do you think that would be an interesting idea? I think that would be an interesting idea. So if I can buy off of eBay or similar this, but one that doesn't work, maybe one where somebody's left the battery in it and it's got all leaky and stinking and it's sold for spares or repairs. I don't know the ballpark that one of them would cost. And I'm not going to look at it on the internet just now because eBay likes to dox my postcode. So I'll have a wee look at that off stream. But I think that would be a fun sort of maybe 2-day project to do on stream. That could be cool. Imagine the shite conversations spies would hear from weed vape microphones. Aye. Yeah, my hands look awfully scary. Do my hands look awfully scary to you? Where are we? Chameleon, some of the vapes have got a button, yes. But some of the newer disposable ones, I think, I mean, it must be down to cost. It's maybe down to cost and down to safety. Because the vapes with a button on them, you can lock them so that if you put them in the pocket, the button doesn't accidentally get depressed. Because imagine that. Imagine your vape was activated with a button, but then you stuck it in a bag. The button was held down. The battery's heating up an element in your bag. Imagine that happened on a plane or something like that. So I suppose it is better. It's maybe a safety thing. It's maybe a cost thing. I don't suppose a button, because buttons are pennies. So I don't suppose the electret microphone is cheaper than a button. A button would be cheaper than that. But in terms of a product design, I think the microphone is a better solution. Espadrille, fucking hell. Espadrille, thank you very much for 40 quid, man. Goodness me. And Camera, thanks very much for 25 quid. Camera and Espadrille, thank you very, very, very much. So every penny of everything on this donate page here goes to Fred. It looks like in total I need to raise about $3,000. And it looks like today we're already a good way there. So thank you very much. any money left over for here will go to Pippa. So Pippa doesn't have vet insurance or anything like that. We've inherited Pippa from my granny. So my granny died and Pippa now lives with us. Pippa was my granny's dog. We're not talking about Pippa today, we're talking about Fred. We've not reached the goal yet, but I think I want to get a totalizer so that I know how far off we are. Because we can't be too far off from this month's goal. Camera and Espadrille, thank you very, very much for donating to Fred. So everything on the donate page goes to this guy here. If we happen to have any left over, I will put it towards Fred. Put it towards Pippa, so thank you very, very much. Also, somebody asked if I take cryptocurrency. Reluctantly, I'm doing it because it's for vet bills. I don't give a fuck, man. A lot of people have got cryptocurrency sitting somewhere that if they cash out, they will need to declare it as income, right? If that's you, and if you were going to send me regular money, you might want to send me crypto instead. Do you know what I mean? Because of various tax. I don't care. I don't know. I'm not a crypto guy, but a lot of people are. And if you want to give actual money or crypto money to Fred, I will take it, man. I'm not making any apologies for that. And thank you very, very much, Cami Ra and Espadrille for donating to Freddie's vet bills. I was nearly greeting earlier, everybody. It was horrible. And I'm just really overwhelmed with everybody's generosity, man. It's really, really cool. And thank you very much, everybody. And Camera as well, thanks very much for the sub. I want a vape with a built-in lighter. Well, if you keep the button depressed, I think you will be able to light a fag off it. Where are we? I saw a disposable vape yesterday that was a 5-in-1. It was essentially 5 vapes stuck together, like panpipes. And you spun the mouthpiece around each one. Looked fucking ridiculous. Anna Realtor says, did you know fancy microwaves have microphones in them? And it's part of what makes the popcorn setting work. It listens for the frequency of pops. Really? That's interesting, isn't it? That's pretty cool. Fun Albert says, oh shit, the white noise. Did I accidentally broadcast white noise towards you? I don't know. Here, everybody, see when I remember, I found a doppelganger. Who was it that sent it to me? I think it was one of you. It was one of you that sent it to me. I found a doppelganger on TikTok. Look at this guy. Look at this. This isn't me. Look at this guy, man. He's heavy me. Hold on, let's see if we can achieve this. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something with this guy, man. So that's 2 doppelgangers I've found. You alright, Rachel? It's mad, isn't it? Can everybody hear Rachel?
This is just more directed at you. You can get a picture up.
Alright.
Chris McQueer's new headshots.
I have seen Chris McQueer's new headshots, aye. And I also thought, here, that guy's got my head.
I thought that as well. I was like, oh, Jen. And I was like, oh, not Jen. There you go.
That's mental, isn't it?
I wonder if you need to, like, get a convention.
A convention of 1030s. Well, I mean, I might be planning crimes that need like an alibi. And so it's just useful. Like Saddam Hussein, it's useful to have guys, a list of guys that look like you, isn't it? I think.
Did Saddam Hussein have a list of guys?
Aye, Saddam Hussein had doubles and stuff. They still got him, allegedly. It's a double! I think there could be something interesting. Rachel's here, everybody, by the way. Rachel, ladies and gentlemen, everybody else. I think there could be something interesting in, like, you know, my Halloween streams or something. So I'm 10:30, and if I've got duplicates, they might be 11:30, they might be 9:30. There could be like some sort of clone story. 10:29. 10:29. Half 10.
What's the is it 7 at 8?
In Star Trek? 7 of 9, I believe.
7 of 9.
Aye. I'm just saying, I don't quite know what it is, but there's something there. But let's look up Chris McQueer's photos as well. I think Chris McQueer is a wee bit more handsome than me. I'm going to say it, right? I think he's a wee bit more handsome than me. Chris McQueer. I think that's his handle. Account suspended. He's got another account though, doesn't he?
I seen it this morning.
Chris McQueer. Maximum respect to Chris McQueer. We've chatted. Aye, there you go.
He's like if you were ever to cast yourself in a film.
Aye, he's like the idealised version of me. Do you know what I mean? Like that.
Fully formed.
Aye. Like if I was a hotshot and a biography got made from me, he would be like the hot actor that they would get in. See, side by side, looks nothing like me, man.
See from a distance.
For a distance, it's maybe like there is something there because I sort of spotted it. He's like that, and this one he's like, the fuck's that over there? I don't know, man. I don't feel good saying that he looks like me because he doesn't really.
Maybe you look like him.
I-
You ever thought about that?
Maybe I think we could be brothers or something rather than like a shared likeness.
Have you seen the meme of was it
Can everybody hear Rachel?
what's her face? Margot Robbie and all the other all the celebrities that look like other celebrities.
Oh, aye, because you've only got like 3 types of people. So you've got what's her face that looks like the other one with a fringe.
Katy Perry
Aye.
and Zoe Deschanel.
Yes.
That sort of
Yeah. It just shows you. Maybe me, Chris McQueer, and the TikTok guy need to get together and just be like, right.
Who's your dad?
Aye, who's your dad's? Well, when I saw the TikTok guy, I sent a screenshot to the family group chat, just like, if you's got something you want to tell us. My dad's like, ha ha ha, see the laughing sweat emoji. Ha ha ha. Like that. So who knows, man? Because he's for Glasgow. So you never know. Anyway, see you later. Did you bring tea in? No.
Do you want a tea?
I mean, if there's a tea on the go, I'll have it. But why did you come in? I mean, it's good to see you. Right, got you. I understand. Cool, got you. I thought there was like a transaction happened and I forgot what it was. Rachel, have you seen how generous everybody's been with Fred bills?
And it's making me really sad. Well, happy sad.
It's making me happy sad as well. It's fucking wonderful.
And he doesn't know. He's just a
Fred's
boy.
oblivious, man. He's sleeping just right at my feet just now. Oblivious to everything.
The wee smelly boy.
He knows he's got cancer. I sat down, I told him all about it, and he's like, right.
Does that mean I can be cheeky?
Well, exactly. He's getting away with being so cheeky,
You're
man.
a cheeky boy, aren't you?
But we're all just letting you.
He was funny the other night when he
Can you hear Rachel?
sleeping in between us, but his head was like
Aye.
in the pillow behind the mattress, just like.
He's taking liberties. He's really pushing what we're allowing him. He knows that the tone has changed and that he's getting away with more than what he used to. So he came up on the bed and he put himself, and he's not a cuddly dog, right? He's like a working dog, but he knows we're talking about him.
Like, who, me?
But he pushed himself between us and just like dead down, like was forcefully just to like challenge the bed, right? But then he realised that we weren't trying to get rid of him. And so he was just like, because he realised he wasn't comfy. And we just continued. Joe, JCR Joe, thank you very much for donating and placing an order as well. Thank you very, very much, Joe. I'm going to try and get a totalizer so that we know how on track we are with Fred. But I think we're on track, everybody, without just doing sums. Thank you very, very much, folks. This is incredible. JCR Joe, thanks. It's so cool, man, isn't it, this?
It's really nice.
It's really, really nice. So thank you very much, everybody. You've taken what was like a worry that was making my belly go all horrible, and you've really alleviated a lot of just genuine stress. So thanks very much, folks. Oh, dearie me. What's this Pedropolis has sent? a Twitch clip. I've not got headphones in, so what's this? What is this? Let's see. I don't think the audio worked, but it was me going, "Do my hands look awfully scary to you?" I don't think you had the audio on that, but thank you very much for clipping that, Pedropolis. Dearie me. Dearie me. I see a realistic Micro 26 on eBay in the States for $30, so they can be got cheap, I imagine. Interesting. If we get one that's broken, then see if I can get one for like a $5 or something. I'm not going to get a working one and then break it. Also, the chance of me doing this is very low. You know me, I'm an ideas man rather than an execution of the ideas man. I'm a wee bit behind in chat, everybody. Where are we? The louder the air, the longer it stays on. I wonder if you can dig deeper and use it as a mic. Maybe. I'm not going to do it, but maybe. I was going to try and... because I've got a vape here that we were originally going to use as a prop for Pip's film, but then I realised by the time we were going to shoot the film, it would be past its sell-by date, and I think the oil in that can go rancid, so I just opened it and started vaping so that it didn't go to waste. Not a vapor myself, but I used to smoke, so I was like, get a wee shot. And because it's a disposable vape, I was going to try and open it up and rescue the battery on the inside of it. I probably will never get round to it, but I'll keep it lying about. Anna Realta says there was a lovely YouTube video about fancy microwaves having a microphone inside that detected the pop frequency of popcorn. The cheap ones followed suit and put the popcorn button, but it's just to do with the time, so nowhere near as accurate. I had no idea that technology existed. That is pretty cool, man, isn't it? I went up north visiting my mum and spent every day being ferried around to various family members to sort out their tech issues. Nightmare. Blaketown, I'm feeling that as well. So every time I'm at my parents', and I'm not complaining about it, right, because it's cool. Docto, thank you very much. Docto, thanks for placing an order and for donating as well. What a legend. Thank you very much for doing that. Remember, if you're a Twitch sub, you get money off of my merch shop. So thank you very, very much. What am I talking about? So every time I visit my parents, there's usually a couple of hours of tech issues that I need to do. And then by the time the tech issues are done, I'm that rattled that I'm not very good conversation. And it's getting to me, man, because every time I visit my parents, I come away feeling like that interaction could have went better. You know what I mean? It feels like it's inhibiting my ability to meaningfully connect with my parents, because every time I'm there, or well, not every time, but a lot of the times I'm there, there's something to get done, and it can feel like putting a shift in. I don't resent it. I wouldn't have anybody else fixing my parents' tech, right? But I think I need to schedule more visits to my parents where the tech stuff's already done by the time I've arrived, so that we can just hang out and actually talk about other stuff that isn't to do with phones and stuff. But I got a phone call from my dad about a week ago saying, because I'm sort of the authorised account when it comes to my mum's email account, right? I'm a sort of backup email thing. So if she forgets her password or has trouble logging in or whatever, I'll get an email to my personal email account where I can verify things there and make it all happen. So my dad bought himself a new phone, was trying to give his old phone to my mum. And because I think he's picked up on this whole socialness around fixing tech and all of that sort of stuff, he didn't want to ask me to do the handover for the old phone to the new phone. And I don't know if anybody's been through this, but see an iPhone, so an iPhone that used to belong to one person, if you give it to that person, but you don't correctly scrub it first, can can lead to all sorts of account problems of two accounts getting merged into one. So when somebody's texting one person, Apple will route it through to the other. It's hellish, man. See, if you set it up correctly, it's fine. But if you don't know what you're doing and you just want to use your new phone and you batter through and you don't deauthorize the phone with the previous account, it can end up in a big situation that takes a couple of days to fix. So I've been through that twice now, I think, with my parents. And so my dad got a new phone and he wanted to give his old phone to my mum. So in the shop where he got the phone, he was asking the guy to do all of that stuff. So I got an email. No, I got an email through saying account verification authorization. Somebody's trying to get into your Moz email account, basically. So my dad phoned up and he's like, "Aye, did you get a security email?" And I'm like, "I did, I just came through, I was just looking at there. Could you tell me the security number? Because I'm trying to set up a thing." So I was like, "Aye, all right, the security number is such and blah, blah, blah." And then I heard in the background of the call a voice that I didn't know going, "Aye, that's it there, sorted." And I'm like, oh my God, my dad has given my Moz email password to a stranger in a shop. And I'm like, is that? And at that point, I had a lot on my plate. So when I realised what had happened, I thought right now isn't the best time to maybe tell him no to do that. So I waited till it was over and I raised it. So I've since changed all the passwords and everything like that. So the account is fully secure again. And the chances of the guy in the shop wanting to break into my Moz email maybe isn't high. However, if you've got access to somebody's email address and you know other information about them, you can then, enter various contracts or sign up for other stuff or cause mischief. So I had to say to my parents, listen, don't give your password to anybody, not a guy in the shop, not the police. Like, nobody deserves to know, unless they've got a warrant. Nobody ever should get your password because that can cause you. But then I was worried that because they were looking as if they were getting a row about it. So I came in too heavy, too hard, basically, right? But for people that are, and with respect, right, a wee bit older than what they used to be, they're now entering into a demographic that is the target of criminals, basically, particularly with technology, So I need to fix that. I need to figure out a way. So I went over, didn't really interact, and then gave them a row, and then get everything done that I needed to do, and then fucked off. So what I need to do is figure out a way, because I don't mind doing all the tech stuff as well. I would rather do the tech stuff than them get somebody else to do it that I don't know what they've done. And then inevitably, when they do need tech help for me, I don't know what's been done previously. So it's then difficult. It's harder than what it would be if I just did it from the start. You know what I mean? So I need to figure out a solution for how to engage with my parents in a meaningful way that isn't just me fixing their phones or their Chromecasts or their laptops or whatever. Because I've got more to provide. I want to continue doing all that stuff, but also I need to find time and an opportunity to do all the other stuff as well, man. Just like hanging out and be cool and no giving them into rows and stuff like that. Because I don't want to do that. So that's something that I'm just saying out loud so that I remember that. My mum phoned me 2-3 days ago. I was in the shower. And I was like, right, I'll phone you back. I've just realised I didn't phone her back. So I need to do that as well. By Blaketown, I get it. Absolutely get it. Junker Pop says, at work, all the people older than me and the ones younger than me are failing the test phishing emails. We're the only generation with computer literacy. I completely agree. It's mad how back in the day, like, we were warned to stay private and to stay anonymous on the internet. So previously in a chat room, you would just ask ASL, age, sex, location, and that was the information that you got about somebody. You would never know their real name or whatever, and you would keep it private and you would keep it safe. But now on the internet, everybody's just using their real names and their heads, and everybody's on it, and it's a it's a different platform than what it used to be, for better or worse. Twin Vapes, Funk Albert, I like it, Twin Vapes. Pedropolis says, oh my god, that would be the best interface for a voice assistant, way better than a silly wee badge. Aye, I think so, wouldn't it? I think that would be cool. If anybody can get me a cheap, it would be cool if it was the one Dale Cooper used, right? But maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe I'll just create a wee prototype from like a wee other tape recorder. I think that could be cool, man. There's a DAP in the shape of a tape deck. Interesting. That's cool. Need a solid state fingerprint reader on your vape. Aye, maybe, otherwise people would use all your tokens. So Blaketown's found one for $30. I think by the time that's delivered, it would probably be about 50 quid or 60 quid. So we'll see if I can find just a wee cheap dictaphone. Also, I won't do that because I'm not doing this project. Just because I've had the idea doesn't mean I need to execute the project, but we'll figure it out. These days, a lot of vape have things that look like mics. Aye, we were just talking about that right here. We were just talking about that. Where are we? Aye, so it's interesting that I've got a doppelganger on TikTok. 1030's going to rob a post office and blame this guy. Aye. I mean, if I find enough doppelgangers, right, I might start a magician career. See the things you can do with a twin? My dad in chat, while talking about my doppelganger, was like, I meant to tell you about him. I'm sure you did. 10:30-ish. You also look a bit like a young Charles Rennie Mackintosh. Jigsaw Dust, I've never had that before. Here's something that none of you have spoke about, but you've all been staring at it for at least a couple hours. Got a tash. None of you have mentioned it. And the fact that none of you have mentioned it probably means that I maybe shouldn't keep the tash. But I was going out to Dando's birthday a wee while ago, and I was doing the thing. Everybody knows the thing. I was shaving. Got this dirt cheap, by the way. I've got a new electric shaver thing. I was shaving. I got to that bit, and I was like that. I was like, Rachel, ha ha ha, look. And Rachel's like, keep the tash. And I was like, really? She's like that. I'm like, it's no growing out yet. I'll maybe just grow everything a bit more so that it's substantial and then shave everything else off. She's like, nah, keep it. And I'm like that. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. So I expected as soon as I went live on Twitch that all of you lot would rip the piss out the tash. Because I forgot I had it until I sat down and I looked at my output before I went live. I was like, oh, here we go, man. But not one of you have given me pelters for the tash, which means that it, you know what I mean? Like, you don't give pelters to people for something that is actually bad. You know what I mean? You give pelters to people if they've got a jacket that's like, oh, check a Nicky your jacket, right? But see if, you know, there's actually something horrific, you don't give them pelters for that because it's a wee shame. Oh, they can't help that. Look at them, fuck's sake. So I think the tash is in that area rather than, you know what I mean? So listen, my face is a work in progress, everybody. Anyway, but I think there's some that could be done if myself, Chris McQueer, and the TikTok man all get together. I look like Frank Turner. I don't see it. I'll be honest with you. I don't see it myself. Maybe a wee bit. Again, a bit more handsome. He's a bit more handsome than me. But I don't. Maybe. But I want to amass a cohort of doppelgangers and then see if we can get up to mad crimes or something. I thought Rolling Sausage was mid-year. I don't think Rachel looks like mid-year. Anyway, where are we? Joseph Alton. Don't know who that is. Who was the author Lemmy said that I looked like? All right, a wee bit. Aye. Might need to create a list. You've got no sound? Aye, on that video, I didn't think you did. Off of the clip. Do you still get a nicotine done off the vapes then? What do you mean? What vapes are we talking? Kit Boga is doing software that stops a lot of stuff like this. Oh, interesting. Get him to create a Trello ticket so you know what needs doing when you visit. Aye. Mo, the ticket still isn't open. This is for computers only. Sephra Secure. Protect yourself and your loved ones from scams. All right. Interesting. Is this good? Because, not going to lie to you, right? See this website? It itself looks a bit like a scam, doesn't it? It looks like a Norton antivirus page. I'm not saying it is. I'm sure it's fine if you've recommended it. But that's interesting. For all of my parents' laptops, I've tried to keep them on Chromebooks because Chromebooks seem to be less susceptible to viruses and stuff like that than a Windows machine. Less upkeep, everything else. And everything they do is online anyway. It's not as if they use professional applications. So most of the problems is to do with logging into stuff. Anyway. Where are we? But thanks for listening to my pish. 18 female UK, no camera mic, sorry. Aye, exactly. Blows my mind that people had their home address and phone number in a big yellow book. Mental into it, Jigsaw Dust. Anyone remember Microsoft Comic Chat? Oh, aye, that's raising a couple of familiar Microsoft Comic Chat. Let's see. Been listening to a lot of the new Burial record and I like it a lot. Remember I was moaning that it maybe wasn't as percussive as what I would have liked. But I like it a lot, man. Hold on, YouTube is saying that it's reviewed some of my settings because I might not be over 18. I'm live on Twitch, not now YouTube. Not now YouTube. Anyway, where was that thing? I've now forgotten why I was on YouTube. Aye, Microsoft Comic. Yes, I do remember that. Anybody remember this? Microsoft Comic. And you could make your own wee comic panels. I remember that. I think you had a collection of like different characters, didn't you? You okay, Peppa? Are you making wee noises? Peppa doggy, where are you? I think she's fine. She's just making mouth noise. It's probably tearing into something. I remember this. You could make wee comics. Imagine Microsoft working on something like this nowadays. Wouldn't it happen? Would not happen. But aye, you've just brought back a whole load of stuff there. Anyway. Big Scary Deer says, I thought you always had a tash. I've always, like, often not grown out my facial hair. So anytime I've got this, I've usually got something here, but it's never an intentional choice. It's always just because I can't be arsed shaving. Whereas this was a choice to remove the bottom bit, and then I was like, I'll just keep the top bit on. Hello, Hammy, welcome in. How you doing? I thought you'd just been drinking hot chocolate. Couldn't pick between the glasses. Oh, I had glasses on as well. It's like getting back on. Couldn't pick between the glasses or the tash. Ended up not giving you pellets for either. I appreciate it. So do you think they balance out? The moustache is strong private detective energy. I like it. How's it going? Probably best not have your doppelgangers commit crimes that you can get done for. No, I'd be doing the crimes, Thumb Chop. I've got it all figured out. Don't even worry about it. So that there is the Kit Boga software. That's cool, man. Kit Boga used it on his own streams and had to turn it off as it pretty much stopped every scam from working. That's cool, man. Hotline is where the cool kids hung out on the internet in the 90s. Aye, Blaketown, there's a new burial. I was a wee bit. It's good. It is good. I had to listen to it a couple of times. So it's 2 tracks, but both tracks together end up lasting a good like 20 minutes or half hour or something like that. So it's good. I say new as in like it's 2 weeks old or something. And I was a wee bit. Remember Burial's last record that he put out just didn't have any percussion in it at all, right? And so when I'm listening to it, I'm just waiting for it to kick in, man. The bit about Burial that I like specifically is his drum programming. So you've got a bit of a beat in it and it sounds skippy and it's like, it's cool, man. So for his last record, I'm listening to it and I'm like, surely it's going to kick in now, man. Surely it's going to kick in now. And it felt like just the full record. He's like teasing a drop. He's like, nah, not today, mate. Then he'll tease another drop. Nah, you're not getting to have a wee dance. Here's a sample that's been pitched down and stretched, and you're like, ah, right, just give some fucking drums, Burial. Whereas with his new one that he's just put out, I forget what it's called, but I like it. New Burial. Coma Fields, it's called. So it's 2 tracks. I think the first track is called Coma Fields, which is like 12 minutes long. And the second track is Imaginary Festival. But it's on a released EP that looks like this. And it's good. It's good. So it's not maybe got enough percussion in it that what I was looking for, when I first sat down with it. But I've listened to it that much now that I'm fucking with it. Like this telly, right? It's got good speakers on the back of it. Got a new telly, got a new CRT telly for a very good price off the internet. And it's got a full amp in it. So only today, because I had a wee bit of work that I had to do before the stream, only today I've rigged this up with the audio of my computer. So when I'm working, I can sit here without headphones and I can listen to music. And it's brilliant. So today I was listening to the new Burial on my speakers and it was really good, man. Managed to set it all up. Ribbon FM, how you doing? Welcome in. How's it hanging, big man? Hanging class, Ribbon FM. Wonderful to see you in. Ribbon FM and Camera, thanks very much for the subs. And Beneath Headphones, thank you very much for the 5 gift subs. Listen, what's happening today is I've put a wee bit of work into releasing my website, right? And the reason I've done that is because we're raising money for Freddie's chemotherapy treatment. So there should be a link somewhere for anybody who's interested. And you can go in, you can donate to Fred. I think the funding goal was about $3,000. And already today, I think we've got about a third of the way there. So for anybody that's interested, the idea was to raise $3,000 before the 8th of December. On the 8th of December, my insurance renews another year. So the insurance company will pay for it for that point on. But there is a couple of weeks where I wasn't covered under insurance, and that cost was causing me a fair bit of worry. So thank you very much to everybody that's already contributed, especially in a cost of living crisis and all of that. Thank you very, very much. And at the same time, I found the easiest way for me to do this was just to launch my website. So I've been working on my website for a long time. The projects page doesn't work. This is all placeholder. Ignore that. But I've also got a shop page where for anybody interested, you can go in and get all of that. But the main thing is we're raising money for Fred Macaulay here, not the comedian, my dog. And for MD that's into crypto, it was easy for me to allow that as well because some folk are into that. And for the sake of raising money for Fred, I'll take it. I don't care. It's ethically a bit dubious, but I'm raising money for a Doug's chemotherapy treatment, so I will take it. But I think most folk who are wanting to do it will do it with actual money, and you're welcome to do it. And thank you very, very much, everybody, for helping me today. I was nearly greeting earlier, man. You've made something that's horrible and stressful and shite a wee bit less horrible and stressful and shite. So thank you very much, folks. Deary me. Aye, thanks for telling me about that software that Kit Bogue is into. My mum's a nightmare for logging into stuff and forgetting. I once had to randomly guess her email login because it had logged her out. She binned her passwords, assuming she didn't need them more than once. It's difficult, isn't it? My issue right now on my mum's phone, she's logged into Facebook Messenger, right? But Facebook Messenger is now its separate app called Messages. But she's already got an app on her phone called Messages, which is her text messages. And she's like, no, I want to go into Facebook for Facebook. And I'm like, I know, it's just no laid out very well, man. So she doesn't know now if she's in WhatsApp or her text messages or Facebook messages. Do you know what I mean? All that's visually confusing for somebody that just isn't into it. So I was trying to like delineate them all out as much as I can. Cause it's good to help folk, isn't it? Before the internet, I might have been dialing into BBS to talk about Deep Space Nine. Do you know, I've never been on BBS boards. I first got the internet in my house in AOL days. I've since used like Usenet and news groups and stuff like that quite a bit early on, but I never have used a BBS, which is just a wee bit before my time. Avgas, how you doing? Bit late in the stream, but my good news is, and also hello Ribbon FM, welcome in. Avgas says, bit late in the stream, my good news is I've been able to rewire my Bluetooth dongle so I get signal on the deck outside. And by the time you read this, I may have done the Wi-Fi router as well, no promises. Avgas, all the very, very best. Sounds like you've got a project on your hands there. The community is too decent to critique someone's personal appearance, but now that you've mentioned the Tash, Dwayne Dibley, fire in, mate. Amazing. Fancy a bicky, just making some peanut butter cookies. Freddie knows the word peanut butter. Fred 100% knows the word peanut butter. That's amazing. I hope they're cool. 20 minutes and they'll all be warm out the oven. Amazing. You were listening to it on CRT speakers. Hammy, inside this telly, this is a Sony Profile CRT that has got an audio amplifier built into the telly. It's from 1980, I think. And so there are two, you can't see them from here, but there's a big separate speaker that's mounted on that side and a big separate speaker that's mounted on that side. So it's not quite hi-fi. There's no subwoofer in it or anything like that. But the alternative for me is to use the inbuilt speakers on my monitor here, which are bad, man. It's just about as bad as... in fact, no, it's much worse than a laptop speaker or something, this thing. So it's been a wee while since I've been able to have just audio coming out of speakers good. And I thought, if that's already sitting there, try it out. Tried it out, worked great. So at some point, I'll maybe get a better audio setup. But for the most part, I'm just going to be wearing headphones in it, so it's absolutely fine. Coma Fields is one of the gym tunes. 12 mins on the cross trainer done. Aye, good shout. Does anybody know where the samples came for the new Burial record? See that wee voice of the moon has risen. Sounds cool, man. I want to know where it came from. I'll need to look it up. Can I offer anyone some lovely Brian Eno sweeps in this trying time? Amazing. I accept English money, Blaketown. I accept every money. I think somebody donated Ripples earlier. It was RK was the name of the currency. I don't know what that is. My senior dog was diagnosed with diabetes a couple months back and it's totally livable, but I still took it hard. 100% Ribbon FM. I love dogs, man. Absolutely adore them. Facebook's app should be called Messenger and not Messages. FYI. Aye. I think I said it wrong. It should be called Facebook Messenger though. And it isn't. It's just called Messenger, which confuses people who aren't on top of things. Nothing wrong with not being on top of things. Some folk are into technology, other folk aren't. I'm not casting any judgments or anything like that. We should say she's sitting here and she said she knows how it all works and gave you the middle finger. Ma, back at you, mate. Back at you, Ma. No, I need to give you a phone. I remember finding a Usenet server that didn't do any checking, but also propagated its changes for years. there was an alt.fan.Andy Boyd. Amazing. I used to use Usenet to do my piracy. Anybody ever been into news groups and stuff like that for piracy? I don't know how much about that I can talk. All right, I'll check that out. So Hammy's linked to Who Sampled. There's a Who Sampled page for that track. The track that I was thinking of, or the sample that I was thinking of, maybe comes from a film or something. I thought it was maybe like a 60s or 70s film. The moon has risen. But I want to go through this then and listen to all the samples. Here, speaking of this website called Who Sampled, did you know that I was sampled by a Polish rapper who sampled a video that I made in 2008? All of this is true, right? A Polish rapper called Sir Teddy made a track called Monisko Flow, and the first bit of it is like an 8-second sample that I made looped for like a good sort of 15-20 seconds. And that track went on to be platinum in Poland. So Sir Teddy, Monisko Flow. Can't I find it now? What if I type in James Houston? Monisko Flow. Aye, here it is. So this is me. Alright, James Houston, that's me. So I made this video 2008. Was sampled in Monisko Flow by Teddy and Sir Michu in 2015. This track here, Monisko Flow. I need to get a copy of this. But I went online. So Monisko is the name of a composer who is on the money. He's on the 100,000 money note that they've got over there. So Monisko Flow is like cash flow in their rapping stuff. And the full thing's in Polish. And I just wanted to know, like, are they good guys or are they bad guys? And Rachel, at that point, her driving instructor was Polish. So Rachel's like, here, listen to this. And the driving instructor then got her brother to listen to it. And the brother's like, it's maybe a wee bit, like they talk about national identity and stuff like that, just a wee bit. So I can't fully, because there's nothing wrong with being proud to being Polish, but like I don't fully know what all the lyrics are about. But then again, I listen to a lot of rap music that in the lyrics are a wee bit ethically, you know, going to DDT man's wife, stuff like that. So, no casting any judgment on them, but I learned about this years after it was made, and to be sampled on a thing that became a platinum selling record in Poland was just something that, like, when I learned that, I was like in bed just scrolling on my phone at 2 a.m. and I'm like, all right. And I had to just accept that information and then try and get to sleep. It's a weird thing to read about yourself. Anyway, so at some point I would quite like to, I think it has to be the album version or something like that. I had a wee look in and I couldn't find it. But I might speak to some musician pals of mine that do collect vinyl and stuff like that, just saying keep an eye out for this one. I think it's long out of print because it was out in 2015, which is over, well, a decade ago now. But I would quite like that thing. I think it was released on a record called Valena Heis by Teddy and Sir Michu. And at some point I need to get a copy of that. I won't play it on stream because I'm currently streaming on YouTube as well. And knowing my luck, I would end up getting a copyright takedown request from the guy who sampled me. So I simply can't play it for you. But that's interesting. What was that? Rachel, what was that noise? All right. I thought a dog had horribly hurt itself.
No, it was me sneezing.
Rachel sneezed.
Uh,
You all right?
cup of tea.
Oh, I'd love a cup of tea.
Mug.
Ta. Ta. You all right?
I'm not sore.
You're sore. Anyway, everybody. I remember finding a Newsnet server that didn't do any checking, but also... Oh, all right, I've just read that. If Freddie had his way, would it be peanut butter or cheese all day? Peanut butter, 100% peanut butter. We use peanut butter as a method of communication with Fred. Say if he's doing something naughty, nothing will get him to stop doing the naughty thing other than going, mate, do you want a wee bit of peanut butter? And instantly he'll be like that. And he'll stop what he's doing and he goes, do, 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 do. And he marches into his bed. He just waits like that. I remember I've read that message about 4 times. Some people can knit amazing clothes. Some people can, Terrible Clint, 100%. She said she never did. Never did what? I've forgotten what I've said. I acquire all my media according to the letter of the law, of course. Yes, me too, Ribbon FM. Someone on the internet says, the moon has risen is from a movie in 1961 called The Innocents, from a child reading a poem. Amazing. Here, how on it was I saying that it sounded like a film for the 60s or 70s? 1961. I was on it. Anyway. Manny, yes, I'm the guy that made that Radiohead video. Yep. Thank you. It was over 17 years ago, and just yesterday somebody mentioned it online. It's called Big Ideas Don't Get Any. I made this. If anybody's seen that, I made that when I was a student. And I used to use it to get my foot in the door at different places. So I've had job offers. This video has got me like literal awards. Somebody sent me to Savannah in Georgia in America to accept an award. This was screened at the Amsterdam Open Air Film Festival. It was on the cover. It was on a DVD on the cover of IDN magazine in Hong Kong. It's been featured in Creative Review, Graphic Magazine. I had a double page spread of just me and Neville Brody's work, and it was because of this video. And so it's done me well, right? And it's opened a lot of doors for me. However, I don't really like talking about it anymore. It was going to get screened last year. And I put a stop to it. I just said I can no longer support or celebrate the music of Radiohead because of all the carry on with Palestine and all of that. And it's a shame because this was sort of used as a big part of my professional identity. And I'd still like to be able to show it to people. I'd still like to celebrate it, but what Radiohead have said, I think it's mainly just Tom and Johnny, but I don't know, man. They seem to be trying to minimise the genocide that's happening in Palestine. And of all the bands to do that, I'm particularly gutted at Radiohead because for the longest time, man, they have been politically active and they've been on the right side of things like apartheid or like all the whole shit to do with Iraq, all the Friends of the Earth stuff, all the Greenpeace stuff. They've been cool for a long time, and I've stopped listening to them. I'm currently trying to train my my YouTube algorithm because it's still I use YouTube Music, I use Apple Music, and it's still hitting me with Radiohead tracks every now and again. And I'm trying to train it out of it, but I've been listening to Radiohead for more than half of my life. You know, it was my first ever girlfriend that got me into Radiohead in the first place. So hopefully Tom York will come to his senses and will write a better notes app, and hopefully he can redeem himself. But until that point, I'm not going to do any public screenings of the video. because it just doesn't feel right. Because fuck them. So that was going to be screened a couple of months ago now, maybe 3 or 4 months ago in Glasgow. Because somebody asked me if I could submit it. They were doing a film festival. And I just said, no, I don't want to. Particularly round about that point, because Twitter was talking about all of this and talking specifically about Radiohead's comments on it. And I just didn't want to celebrate their music, because at that point particularly, they were talking about all of this sort of stuff. Jambo and Steel, how you doing? Welcome in. Maximum respect to you, Jambo and Steel. Thank you very much for subbing. How's it going? But for all this stuff, being an activist, right, is about what you can control. It's not necessarily about changing the world, right, as much as you would want it to be. Sorry, I've got a bubble in my eye. Got a soap bubble in my eye there, Jambo and Steel. Thank you very much for subbing. Thanks for 61 months. But being an activist is about what you can control, right? I'm in control of this. I'm not going to do anything daft like take it off the internet, because it's sitting here with over 1 million views, right? And it is a big part of the start of my career. But I don't want to publicly screen it or whatever else until they sort of cop on a wee bit. But it was that video that the mad Polish rappers sampled to make platinum. I think triple platinum. But I don't know what that means in Poland in terms of numbers. The moon has risen. But I, Manny Toad, like that was me. Honestly, can't imagine a cooler capstone project. Well, it was difficult for me because I made that project before I graduated. And so I graduated into that, which was massive, right? It was, see, back then on the internet, when something went viral, it was viral for a couple of weeks. Nowadays, if something goes viral on the internet, it's like an hour and then something else replaces it. So I did quite well off of that. And then I've forever been working on my difficult second album. Anyway. Tom did not talk for it. What do you mean? For the Palestine thing, he released a statement about, well, there's both sides sort of stuff. I was like, where you go, man? I think Johnny Greenwood's wife is Israeli, and Greenwood has set up gigs. I've got a lot of time for Johnny Greenwood, man. He used to be one of my heroes until this one particular issue, which is kind of a deal breaker for me, right? So he's done gigs with Israeli and Palestinian musicians in the same set, but then done them in Tel Aviv. And it's just like, if you're going to do something, do it, man. Don't try and sort of both sides it. It didn't really sit very comfortably for me. Just my opinion, just how I feel about it. Different people might feel different, and nobody's necessarily a baddie in it all. But I just find it a wee bit distasteful. A much smaller scale version of that recently is Rachel told me earlier that the person that cuts Pippa's hair, so Pippa Dog, the wee smelly dog, the smaller one, she's brilliant, gets her hair cut from time to time because she doesn't shed. She's like a dog that needs to get its hair cut. And Rachel this morning's like, listen, what? See the person that cuts Pippa's hair? Aye. She's been on social media doing like pro-Israel posts. And I'm just like, no. Because it took a long time to find her. She's good at it. She's really good at it. And the previous person that cut Pippa's hair wasn't good at it at all. The woman looked a bit like Bret Hart, didn't she, pal? And she cut Pippa's hair, and on the back of Pippa's hair, it looked like a fringe. It was weird, man. So it looks like we're going to have to find another Doug haircut person, which is a wee shame, because that one was great. Hi, Freddy Dog. Hi, pal. Talking about Pippa, aren't we? But anyway, sometimes you just need to make these decisions in life. Anyway, I'm moaning about stuff. Where are we? I popped the Eno sweeps. Really? There was legitimate Eno sweeps, Bowdy? I didn't know about that, man. That's brilliant. Why genocide seems to be the gateway to people's apologist traits is bizarre. I think it comes from, oh, I don't know. I'd always start talking about it all, but I think his wife's Israeli, and so he might have a different in to the story. What the news he's receiving might be a bit different for the news everybody else is receiving, but who knows, man? Because there's lots of Israeli people speaking out against it, you know? Anyway, I know OK Computer's amazing, but it really spikes my depression every time. No fooling, takes me a couple of days to bounce back from it, and I'm on SSRIs. Well, Radiohead for me, I prefer their most recent stuff is far better. Like every album, they get better. And I've got time for all these side projects and all of that sort of stuff. But I've had to just simply stop because every time I listen to it, it makes me think of a wee lassie that the IDF shot over 350 times. And I don't want to think about that stuff, man. Anyway, I think York might be salvageable. Greenwood is gone, though. I haven't heard Johnny speak about it. I've only heard Tom sort of speak about it. But anyway, sorry, couldn't let it go. The moon is risen. Is this it? Oh, if I play YouTube videos, you can't hear the audio. But thank you very, very much for... I wonder if that's the exact YouTube video that Burial sampled from. That's cool, man. Anyway. Miss the days when you didn't know everyone's shitty opinions and didn't resent them for it. IP cough. Like, I'm not saying that every media source every actor and everything that I watch has to have the same political views as me, and every musician that I listen to has to have the same political views as me and all of that sort of stuff. I'm not being like that. I'm just saying them in particular were very vocal politically about everything else. And then there's one thing, they just didn't mention it for ages. And when they were forced to mention it, did like a weird sort of both sides kind of hands wringing thing. So just personally, I've went off them. But no offence to anybody who's still into it. Once you know stuff, it's hard to unknow it and enjoy stuff in the same way. 100% Mary Biscuits. 100%. Just made me a wee bit sad. But that part of that might be a parasocial relationship that I've got with Radiohead. Because Radiohead has been all throughout my life a soundtrack for mad shit I've been going through. The first big relationship I've ever had, Radiohead. The first big breakup I've had, Radiohead were there. When I graduated and was trying to forge my own creative identity, a big part of that was on Radiohead. Radiohead have put me on their website. I've had a text for Colin Greenwood wishing me all the best. Met up with Colin Greenwood's pal. I was on... anyway, blah, blah, blah. Radiohead has been a big part of me and stuff. And so maybe I've held them to a higher sort of standard than what others might. I don't know, man. But maybe it's difficult to articulate all the thoughts and stuff. Other than I've kind of stopped listening to them. And I maybe don't want to screen that video in public. But hey-ho, hey-ho. How's it going, Mary Biscuits? Welcome in. Well, listen, folks, that is nearly 5 o'clock, right? And I've got a whole other project that I need to finish for tonight to do with something completely different. If you're just in, I'd like to draw your attention to this donation page that I've got set up to help with Fred's chemotherapy treatment. And thank you, everybody, for helping thus far. I've not added it all up yet, but I'm quite sure we might even be like a third the way there or something like that. I don't really know yet. The next time I'm on stream, I'm hopefully going to have a totalizer or whatever, so that we can figure all this out. Exactly, Mootsie, no McDonald's, and a couple of days ago, I drank a Diet Coke, and I said to Rachel, this is my last Diet Coke that I'm having, because boycotts and sanctions work, innit, 100%. Anyway, thank you very, very much, everybody. This stream has been a wild trip, and thanks very much for helping Freddie out. Yous are all cool, and I really didn't expect this, and so just thanks very much, everybody, for being in and for being my pals and helping me navigate something that I was a wee bit unsure about. I'm going to try and get the Kingdom of Scotland ringtone on the website for you. So you can download that and you can use it as your own ringtone. It might be a couple of days before I can achieve that because various things. John Artfield, how you doing, man? John Artfield just chucked money towards Fred's vet bills. Thank you very much for doing that, John Artfield. You're a legend. I think I've raided this person before. Well, I'll raid a DJ. I'll keep it upbeat, man. We'll raid a DJ. Sorry if you got loud music there. Let's raid a bloody DJ. Well, we will keep everything all upbeat and everything else. John Atfield, thank you very much for chucking money to Fred. And thank you very much, everybody, for coming in. All the very best to each and every one of you. Keep it real, take it easy. My name's James Houston and Houston's Boostin'. But before I do, please enjoy this magic trick. Goodness me, Jake. Jake, thanks very much for 20 quid. Thank you very much for that. You're all brilliant. I won't be on later tonight, and I won't be on in the afternoon tomorrow. I've got a thing that I'm doing. Or what I might be home by then. So I might be a wee bit late on tomorrow. And I'll do a big stream in order to make up for it, if that's all right. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to raid a DJ. Thank you very much for being in. And hopefully I'll speak to you sooner than later. Tash distracted for the magic. You can't win them all, mate. Can't win them all. Bye, everybody. Thank you. See you later.